Hello, Philadelphia! I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We love our Fridays across the Delaware Valley. Our Good Friday. Lots to do today. This is the Anthony Gargano Show, and we're presented by TrueMark Financial Credit Union, truemark.com/PHLY for the credit union difference. Well, lots to get to today. It's a Friday. We always have lots and lots of busy stuff to get to. Obviously, we'll talk more about the Eagles' schedule. Baldy will join us a little bit later on to go over that. We'll talk about Rick Tocchet, and very excited to have Tock back in town. I love it. Flyers introduced Tock today at a news conference, so very excited about that. But listen, I want to get right to it, and we apologize for the tardy start. We had a little technical issues in the other room. Usually we're out in the big room on Fridays, so we're back at our studio today. So apologize for our little tech issues that cost us about 15 minutes. So I want to get right to her. You see what I'm wearing, right? I am so excited because next year is our year in Philadelphia. Next year is our coming out party. Next year is the year that we get our just due, right? We are America's first city. We were the first capital. Our beautiful city has been underrated, underutilized, under-talked to everything, right? Forever until 2026. Because when USA 250 comes to town, we get everything, right? All the big events, we get them all. We're going to have all-star games, and we're going to have NCAA tournaments, and we're going to have the World Cup, all right? The World Cup comes to Philadelphia, and we begin on the program a special look inside the World Cup prep, all right? Throughout, because next year is going to be the year, and we got to start early, and we have the woman in charge, all right? I love her to death. Meg Kane, Megan Kane, true Philadelphian, by the way. Megan Kane is the host city executive CEO for Philly World Cup. Meg!
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry, VG. I'm so excited about Megan. I forgot about it.
Don't mind me.
All right.
Just hanging out.
Thanks, guys.
Meg, what do you say?
It is a huge opportunity and for us to host FIFA World Cup. So delighted to start this series with you. Awesome to be here.
Great to have you here.
Definitely a Philly girl through and through. We just were doing what parish are you from? What neighborhood are you from?
We grew up like half a mile away, bordering rival neighbors.
Exactly, bordering. Yes, exactly. But yeah, it's such an amazing opportunity. And I think your opening comments around the city being this hidden gem.
Yes.
Right, is such a huge part of the story of us hosting FIFA World Cup and how we got here, right? That for me is, as a lifelong Philadelphian who's, I was born here, but I've also chosen to stay here.
Right.
Right? For me, I think of this as the ultimate opportunity to transform the city for the better.
Yes.
Right? This isn't just about 1 year. It's not just, it's 26 and then in 27, nothing else happens. It's the accelerant for Philadelphia to be a world known and a world-class city that is an international destination, right? That's the entire point.
I love it.
Right?
I love that. That is the mission.
It's the mission.
And you're right. This is the launch. Next year is the launch of that. It catapults us where we belong. Rightfully so, by the way.
Absolutely. I mean, look at the other U.S. host cities. I always remind people around our bid that our bid started for the FIFA World Cup in 26, 2 days after the NFL draft in Philadelphia, right? So when you think about that, that's 2017. We had not won a Lombardi trophy yet. Right. Now we have two. Delightful. Thank you.
And
Thank you,
Philadelphia. And by the way, you were at the Super Bowl.
I was at the Super Bowl, which was amazing.
By yourself, by the way.
Go Birds. I sat with a group that had no rooting interest, and by the end, everyone was, singing the Eagles.
Oh, nice.
Like the Eagles fight song.
I just got to tell the audience. Yeah. So Meg comes across a ticket like the last minute, one ticket, and she tells her boyfriend, like, what do I do? Right. And he's like, you got to go. she went by herself. She's like, I'm in, man. Birds.
Go. That's right. Go Birds. I mean, it was
I
amazing.
love it.
And the best part about it, right, is like leaving the stadium, right? So of course, in the middle of we're in the stadium, and it starts happening, right? Like they're just crushing the Chiefs, and everyone who's a Birds fan is like looking at each other like, is this really happening?
Real? Is this happening?
And then the Cooper DeJean interception
Yes.
today, right, was unbelievable. But even at halftime, everyone was sort of like, all right, like this is still, nobody wanted to be super excited.
Right.
And then the dagger.
It was the best.
And the coolest part was like leaving the Superdome. And I said it was such a Philadelphia thing, right? Everyone's like, oh, did you go out on Bourbon Street? Did you go do this? It was like all the Eagles fans were calling people at home.
Yeah.
Everybody was on their cell phone calling Philadelphia, being like, what's it like? Like, I'm calling my sister. I'm like, oh my God, they won, right? Like, so it felt so Philly in some ways,
beautiful.
right? Like, of all these people on their cell phones, like wanting to talk about what was happening at home as opposed to like going out and partying.
It's so funny because that's who we are, right?
Totally.
Like, in many ways, this huge worldwide event, the biggest event in sports, it becomes our Philadelphia spin on it, right? And we are so parochial. Like, we love it. Like, we love our town, right? We love our families. Like, it's so interesting. I same thing. I left. I lived in New York. I lived in Chicago, right? I was in LA for a while. And then next thing you know, I'm home because I have to come home.
Right.
And just like you stayed here.
It's a great city.
Yes.
And it's been, again, it's like this hidden gem. And like that was such a big part of our story to FIFA, right?
Because so tell me about that. Like, take us to the beginning, and then we'll look ahead.
Sure. So as I said, we started this journey back in 2017. I didn't come on board until 2019. The original bid comes out of the Convention and Visitors Bureau and PHL Sports, which does all the bidding for the big sporting events. So when the NCAA tournament's here, Army Navy, right? They bring that to the city with the city's Office of Special Events. So those are the two entities that were sort of in leading the charge. But in the end of 2019, right, the way that this was supposed to work is that all of the host cities were going to be picked by December 31st of 2020, right? So David L. Cohen of Comcast who was the original chairman, and myself and another consultant named Allison Grove came on board to help support the bid, right? What this last push was going to be. And this is where you were going to have FIFA coming to town, and there was going to be, a lot of like, demonstrating like big, bold events, and everybody out and like showing off that Philly flavor. And we are running toward hosting Morning Premiere Live for NBC Sports. We were going to kick off like our bid efforts with this like huge reveal of our brand. We were working with Athena Global Advisors on that, and we were getting ready to do that. And we were like really just like running toward this in April of 2020.
Yeah.
And then the world shut down.
Yeah.
Right? COVID hits. Yeah. And all of a sudden nothing happens. Right? There's nothing.
Right.
And so, a lot of what we had to think about as a host, as a budding host committee, was Philadelphia benefits totally from being here, right? From feeling the people, from the authenticity, the energy, right? We're a surprise and delight city, right? But when you talk to anybody who they think they know Philly, they come here and like, love it.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to come back.
You can't do it on like a PowerPoint deck or anything.
No,
you got to be
right.
here.
You have to experience it.
You have to experience it.
Yeah.
Right. And so the other part of it is that we knew that our fandom was a huge part of our story, right? Because that's who we are. We rally around sports. And so even if we don't speak the same language of another country, we're going to be able to bond over the fact that the way that we live and die with, a Sirianni's call on 4th and 1 or Rob Thompson's bullpen move, right? Like that's the way that these international fans are going to live and die with their soccer teams.
Exactly.
So there's a bonding that's going to happen regardless of language that we're going to get.
Well, it's funny you said that because I often equated our fandom to international soccer.
Yeah.
I mean, like having been in Europe and seen it, like I was in Naples. Oh, this was a month after they won the Serie A, right?
Yeah.
And the town is still draped in blue, right? In that color. And there were those, what are the pictures called? They're like, We just talked about this the other day. There are like these placards with the players'
pictures all around the city. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's an incredible.
It was
the
unbelievable.
fandom is unbelievable.
Yes.
And the pride.
Yes.
Right. So
Yes.
if you think about what the week after the Super Bowl felt like here, right? Angela Valavis at Philadelphia always calls it like the happiest week ever.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there's
yeah,
like
yeah.
nothing that goes wrong.
Yeah.
Everyone's smiling in Philadelphia. Like there's nothing that can get you down.
It's beautiful.
In European cities, that's what soccer is: a week plus a month plus a year.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
And you're seeing that too. I mean, if you've been whether you're accessing soccer through like Ted Lasso, or whether it's through Welcome to Wrexham, and that ascent, right, and that story, right, whatever that is, truly this. I think that's where I felt from our perspective, we had this unique narrative around our fans being able to rise to the occasion of FIFA World Cup in our city in a way that would be very different than any of the other host cities, right?
Yep. Oh, totally.
So I think for me, that was such an incredible part of what we had to do, but it really made us have to reevaluate how to convey all of that when we couldn't have FIFA here.
Right.
When
they couldn't experience it. Yeah.
Right. Who are the question that we posed that when we came back to it, it was like in the summer of 2020 is like, who are we as a city if you can't hear us roar?
Wow.
Right.
Oh, that's deep.
But
that's deep. You're right.
But that's a really critical component to how we had to reshape our go-to-market.
Sure.
Right? And so, David Cohen, who has been, an incredible civic leader for Philadelphia, was our leader up until 21. And then when he became the ambassador to Canada, Dan Hilferty steps in.
Who's the greatest.
The greatest. And so when you think about those two leaders coming together and kind of doing the baton pass between each other, it's like a perfect meld of, I think, what Philadelphia's bid reflected, right? Because David is a lawyer by trade. So he goes for technical excellence, right? What does the contract call for? And can we meet those requirements? Like, that's a good question.
Yeah. Sure.
And the thing is we didn't just meet them, we exceeded them, right? That's the cool part, right? And it starts with Lincoln Financial Field. And, when Mr. Lurie and Don Smolenski and Frank Gimeni have built there over the last 30 years, Lincoln Financial Field was the the ace of the bid, because all of the renovations that they had done in 2019 set us up perfectly to meet all the requirements for FIFA.
Oh, cool.
And once we realized that, and we sort of centered the bid around we have the right venue, then we could start telling the story of Philadelphia. We could start telling the soccer story of Philadelphia, which we talked a little bit about.
Yes.
And, it can't go, I can't tell the story without saying this bid isn't one without a thriving, incredible culture of MLS and the union down in Chester. And, what Jay Sugarman and Richard Leibovich and Tim McDermott and Dave DeBuscher have built in Chester, and that sellout, and if you've been there, and that energy
right on the water. I mean, it's a great experience.
And that really helped to bolster this. And I would even say the academy, like that European model of what they're doing down there in terms of training is
it's already paid dividends, right? Like
that new complex down there is incredible.
Yeah.
And you're looking at U.S. men's national teams invitations, right, for the next couple of rounds of, looking at the team for U.S. men's national team. And the chance for that to have such a Philly flair, a Pennsylvania flair to it is very real.
Yeah.
11 of 60 players that were just invited to camp have a tie to either the academy or to this region.
Wow.
I mean, that's
11 of 60?
11 of 60.
Have a tie to here.
Hey, G, are you kidding me?
It's a soccer city, man. I mean, I grew up in the soccer world, so it's a soccer city.
Oh, I mean, where you and I are from,
in
the Northeast.
Yeah.
I mean, that is
soccer.
But that all comes back to Philadelphia's history, right? It's not just the soccer city, right? It's the way that our immigrant waves as a city have come in, right? So when you look at the river wards and where the factories were, right? That's where you saw the Irish, the English, the Polish, the Italians. They would play soccer along the river wards right after work, right? But now you see the change in immigration patterns, and that's why soccer is so enormous out in Southwest, right? In Philly, as you're seeing Africa and the West
That's right.
Africa come as a major part. The Caribbean nations, South
Yep.
America. There's a huge.
Well, if you go down to FDR Park on the
FDR Park,
weekends,
oh.
You
those
see it.
games
Yeah.
are
They're
ridiculous.
insane.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you-
just
you
bring
know,
my dogs
funny,
out there and
they're
watch them play.
unbelievable.
Yes.
I remember years ago, like the Italians that were all whoever came over from Italy, like they would have their pickup games, and it was funny. It was every Sunday morning.
Sunday. That's right.
It-
And that there is a tradition and a culture. I mean,
Yeah.
and like you go up into Fox Chase, right?
Mhm.
And there's,
Yes.
you know, the Ukrainian,
Yes,
right?
that's
like
right.
You've got. I mean,
That's
that's where there is this sense of people say, well, Philadelphia's not really a soccer city. It's absolutely a soccer
Yeah.
city.
Yes.
It's absolutely a
That's right.
soccer city. It's just that this is the chance for us to actually showcase that, I think, in a way that we haven't had an opportunity to do so before.
That's a great point. That's
Yeah.
a great point. So, all right, tell us now what happens, right? Like, what are we looking at? Because for this, I know you've been working hard for a long time,
Sure.
and now it's going to even get amped up.
That's right. This is really where I think over the next year, we're going to just see, such enthusiasm and excitement start to come, right? That for me, I look at 1 year out. So June 11th of this year, we are going to be 1 year from the beginning of the tournament. So what's different about this tournament than any other tournament that FIFA's hosted, right? Because it's not just your normal FIFA World Cup. The biggest changes that they made, right, was originally, we're going to 3 countries. Haven't done that before.
Mm.
Going
Right.
16 host cities across 3 countries. A lot of movement. But the biggest changes are moving from 32 qualifying teams to 48,
Yep.
right? So
Yep.
all of a sudden, you're just amping that up. And originally, the sense was that they were going to do a 80 match. Like they were going to just do, they were going to limit the number of group stage matches. And the federations were like, no, we want the traditional model. So now it went from that 32 to 48 teams to 64 matches to 104.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah, I
you
saw
think
that.
about that, right, there's a lot of things that come with it that
Yeah.
are going to make this a very different tournament. Like those first couple
Historic.
weeks,
I mean,
it's
it's-
historic.
yeah,
And
yeah.
for those first couple weeks, it's going to feel like the NCAA tournament's opening weekend.
That's
Everywhere
right.
you turn, there's going to be a match on.
Yeah.
Because if you think about the time zones and how it works,
And they'll
you're-
stagger
they'll
it.
going, east to west. You're
Mm.
going to see just an incredible amount of soccer that's going to be played over those first 2 weeks, and you're going to see amazing matches, right? Amazing.
Well, that's the thing. Like the World Cup, it's you're talking about the elite of the elite.
Yep.
And that sport, I didn't understand the beautiful game moniker until I watched the World Cup. Right? When you watch World Cup, you go, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's what they mean by the beautiful game." It's truly amazing.
It is.
It really is. And to have all those matches going on at the same time, it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome.
Like it's going to be a party.
From June 11th
Literally.
to July 19th,
Yeah.
there's going to be a party going on
Yeah.
in the U.S. And for us in Philadelphia, we're going to host 6 matches.
Right.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, we have 6 matches. And what's really cool about that, right, is we have our group stage matches. So we're going to play June 14th, 19th, 22nd, 25th, and 27th, right? Those are the first 5 group stages. Then we have a little bit of a break. And then our last match is a round of 16 knockout on July 4th.
Oh,
my!
man.
Oh,
USA,
my!
England,
Oh,
knockout
how
July 4th. Come
awesome!
on, baby.
How awesome the spectacle
Yeah.
of July 4.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be amazing.
It's going to be incredible. And look, we did make
Wow.
a special request for a USA England
Yes.
rematch.
Yeah.
But, as FIFA reminds us, the only 2 things they don't control is the weather and who wins. But if we could line that up, that would be
That'd be
amazing.
amazing.
Although a tough run, given that the U.S. men's national team is going to open on the West.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think for us, the other really cool part about this for Philly is when you look at the Northeast corridor, right? So New York, New Jersey, scenic East Rutherford is
Sure.
a host. They're going to host the final. They have 8 matches. And then Gillette up in
New England,
Foxborough
yeah.
for Boston is going to host 7. Plus Toronto
Right.
has 5. So if you think of those 4 cities like in a cluster, which is sort of how FIFA typically operationalizes the tournament, the cool part is that this is probably the only area where fans can move so
Oh,
easily
yeah.
between
Wow.
cities.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And so they could go, you can get to Boston in 5.5 hours.
Exactly.
On Amtrak.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can catch
Yeah.
a 45-minute flight and be
Go to
at
Toronto.
Logan and go
Yeah.
to Toronto.
Yeah.
Right? You can get on Amtrak and go up to Newark
Yeah.
and get to MetLife. You can drive.
Mhm.
right? So when you think about a fan who, when the average World Cup traveler who's international comes in, they're staying 21 to 24 days. That's typically the length of time that they stay. So when you want to make a value proposition of, all right, I want to see as many matches as possible. I want to experience as many fan festivals as possible. I want to see as many cities as possible. And I can get DC in here, even though they're not hosting anything.
Yep.
Right? I can do the nation's capital and have a World Cup experience and do it over July 4th. I think Philadelphia is poised to really be the hub for an international traveler as well as a domestic traveler who may come in and say, this is how I want to experience, where they can Airbnb here and use the Northeast Corridor line. They can use a card to get up to MetLife, right? Yeah. And I think that's the cool part. That's what's going to be so exciting about when we find out who's coming, is being able to go to market and say, this is where you want to be. And here's all the reasons why.
You're right. It's fascinating. And it's perfect too, because of getting around and moving around. You know, North Jersey is impossible. Boston is a nightmare, right?
And Foxborough isn't close to Boston.
No,
right?
It's in the middle of nowhere.
And East Rutherford isn't in New York.
Right.
It's in North Jersey. I mean, that is for all that we as Philadelphians, and you know.
Yeah.
And you guys know. It's like nobody's harder on ourselves
than
we are.
Yeah. Right.
Like we can say anything we want negative about the city, but don't say a word outside. You know, it's the gritty phenomenon. Right. And
that's right.
And I think that's the part that is going through this process. It's and going through the bid itself, it really made me, and I think our whole team, value what Philadelphia has in a really different way.
Big time.
Right? Think about that you can get from City Hall to Lincoln Financial Field in 15 minutes.
Yep.
On the Broad Street.
Yep.
Right? Like just
Totally.
think about that. But also think that
no connecting.
And if you're on an express, it's 11.
Yes.
Right? That is.
And by the way, in the summer, it's a nice walk.
It's a nice walk.
And you stop and you go get a pint.
That's
and
right. You'd go down East Passyunk.
Yeah.
You hit, right? You can stop at Chickies. Right? You can do any of those things, right? So there is all of this opportunity, right? And when you think about a European or a South American fan, the walking doesn't.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Right? So saying you have to walk 2 miles to the stadium, it's like, sure, no problem.
And the other thing too is their culture, which we don't get, is their vacations, their holidays are true holidays. Like they're not like, we're going to take a week off and go. Like they're going to be here. You mentioned the average stay is 21, 22 days. You'll see people here a month.
Correct.
That are in Philadelphia.
That are moving back and forth.
Right. That'll make Philly the hub.
That'll make Philly the hub.
Yeah.
And they were going to do that because this is every 4 years. This is what they do.
Yes.
This is what they travel. This is what they travel for.
That's right.
They save. They don't do a big vacation
right.
for the 3 years in between. They do the World Cup.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And 70% of the people that are coming won't have a ticket to the match.
Yeah.
Like they are coming to be part of the
party,
the
experience.
The experience.
Yeah.
Right? That is so much a part of this that I'm not sure, that everyone understands, but it's not different than when we go and take over a city.
It's exactly what we do. It's funny, in a much smaller level, but
more like a long weekend.
Right. But that's what it was born. I'll never forget it. And we have our friends at Philly Sports Trips, right? Vince, and how it all started. But there was a Monday night in Miami, and the Eagle fans took over. This is early 2000s.
I remember that.
Remember that night?
Yes, absolutely.
And I couldn't believe it. I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking, and it's the end of the Eagles are winning big, and you're hearing Eagles chants on Monday Night Football, and you're going, wow, this is awesome. Yeah. And it's the same kind of thing on this huge level. I'll ask you this. Tell us about like the party. Like Philadelphia loves sports and it loves a party.
Absolutely.
And this is going to be one of the most memorable times of our lives.
Sure. And I think that's, for me, what's most exciting as a Philadelphian, right, is that I think of this as an opportunity for the city to shine in a way that is so unique.
Yes.
And so different than how New York, New Jersey, or Boston, or Atlanta is going to come to the party.
That's right.
Right. I think our authenticity is going to shine through. And I think that we are going to, really step up to the moment because it's going to be so fun.
I know. I know.
And when you think of our other big events that we've hosted, right? Conventions, political conventions, awesome. But there's not really a fan element to that. Right. There's 50,000 people who go to the Wells Fargo Center, the soon-to-be Xfinity Mobile Arena, for those events. And there's things that happen around it, but there's not like, oh my God, this is a moment, right? The papal visit, which I had the chance
I can't believe it. You were in charge of the visit.
Donna Farrell was in charge. I did communications work, but I was there.
Come on, you were there.
Yeah, definitely. But like that was 2 days. And yes, there was like an incredible, obviously, outpouring of people, but there wasn't that. It's not a party. It has it was more of a solemn event. It was more of a spiritual
event.
And so when I think about the draft is probably the closest thing to this, and that was 3 days. This is going to be a party for 39 days, right?
So you have a fan fest, right?
Yes.
Like you have, there's going to be a location, Lemon Hill
Park,
right?
Yes.
And I don't want to tell us.
So Lemon Hill Park is our fan fest destination. We are so excited about it because it's both a legacy project. It's never been used for anything like this before, which is so cool. And it's going to have a real festival feel. When people say, well, what is a fan fest? A lot of times it's boiled down to, it's a watch party. Basic.
Right.
Basic.
Right,
yes.
right.
I mean, we are talking staging and giant screens and entertainment and DJs and soccer activations and, food and beverage and, cool like family activation spaces for kids to play and things that will make this an opportunity for people to come back time and again. It is open and free to the public. Right. So there is no cost to enter.
Oh my.
Which is so cool. And I think that's really how so many people are going to be able to experience World Cup in Philadelphia. They can come out and watch matches on the big screen.
Oh, it's going to be incredible all day long.
All day long.
Oh, yeah.
All day long. I mean, when you think about like opening match, there's one match that day, and I think we're going to have 20,000 people to watch opening match in Mexico City.
I always thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And it was European, and it would start really all over the world, where they would watch communally in a square, a piazza, square, town square, and everybody would be together, and you'd see the energy of human souls together, which brings us back to the spirituality of it. It's the same thing. With sports, it's the same thing.
I've joked. I said I've worked with the Vatican. I've worked with FIFA. It's like working with two international religions. I get it.
Yes,
right?
yes,
I understand.
yes,
I understand how that goes.
Yes.
And but you're right. There is a spiritual part of this. There is a unity part. And to be honest, we need that more than ever before.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Totally. That's right.
And I think that's an opportunity that we haven't necessarily embraced totally. But I think as we get closer, we will. I think understanding the nations that are coming is going to be a huge opportunity, right?
And that comes in December?
December is
the draw.
When the draw happens.
Yeah.
And the draw is the chance, like that's when we'll know. We could have 6, 7, 8 different countries that are coming to Philadelphia. But it's not just, they're coming. Their fans are coming, right?
Yes.
So it's how do they celebrate?
Yes.
How do they prepare for the match?
Cultural piece of it? Yes.
How do we introduce them to what we do? How do they introduce us to how they celebrate?
I love that. I absolutely love it.
We love to sing. We are a fight song kind of town.
Yeah, we are.
There's going to be lots of singing, lots of celebration, and I think that's the part. This is joyful.
Yes.
There's a joy to this
yes.
that I think is so cool. And I think that's the part that we're not necessarily ready for, because even if you think of like tailgating at Lincoln Financial Field, there's a joy to it, but there's always that like nervousness of like, we still got to go play the game.
Yeah.
Right. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
Right. There's that, like, it's the lead up. It's sort of how we manage our anxiety.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Tailgating is how we manage anxiety.
Yes.
Right? But this is different because yes, these fans are going to have that feeling, but as residents, like we kind of get to be part of the party and pick a team and be like, I'm in on.
Right.
I'm in on
the
Cameroon.
Dutch.
Right. I'm in on the Dutch. Like they're going to be my team, and that's what I'm going to follow.
Yeah.
And
not to mention all of our ethnicity and that sort of thing.
Everybody, there's so many people that will root for the Italian,
right,
the Irish,
right.
the English.
Right.
And I think that's cool. And then the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah.
There's going to be these moments, I think, of unity and coming together.
Totally.
That are going to create memories that we just can't imagine yet, but are going to be so spectacular. And that's what Lemon Hill is meant to be. That's what Fan Festival is meant to be.
Oh, I love this. This is going to be amazing. 39 straight days of parties, VG. 39 straight days.
You guys have to come broadcast live from Lemon
Every
Hill.
day. We're there.
Every day.
Great.
Yeah, I'm in.
We're there every day.
Okay. It's
All
good.
right.
I mean, that is going
No,
to be
it's
okay,
done. We're in. We are in. So listen, can you hang?
Yeah.
All right, listen, because you're a 4 for 4.
So yes.
we got some Phillies, we got Baldy, right?
Great. Let's
just
do it.
hang out.
Yeah.
All
Let's do
right.
it. Love it.
Because the Baldy will love you.
Oh, cool.
All right.
I love
So
it.
you got to hang out with
I'm
us.
in.
You're awesome.
Great.
I
Happy
think
to-
you're going to be my new co-host. Sorry, VG.
Can't wait.
Sorry,
Let's do
VG.
it.
No.
It
VG,
happens. It happens.
We love.
Every once in a while.
Yeah. It's the nature of the business.
Special guest star.
Quick moving.
Yeah, these things happen, man.
Cool today. Late
All right,
tomorrow.
we talk about some business, Bryn. So let's do that. So let's talk about your vehicle, all right? Because you could be in the market for a new vehicle. And I've told you about our new sponsor, the Folk Auto Group, right? Charlie Folk, my main man. In fact, Danny D will be here later on. He's the AD of St. Joe's Prep. Well, Charlie's son, Charlie, is the quarterback. Really good player. So he understands us. He's a Philadelphian through and through. And he's got dealerships right across the bridge, like Cherry Hill Jeep. And my man Dante, one of the best, South Philadelphia's greatest. He runs Cherry Hill Jeep. So if you're looking for a Jeep or a Ram truck, there's only one dealership in South Jersey who has been the market leader since 1967. That's right. My friends at cherryhilljeep.com have you covered on the best selection, but more importantly, the best prices. All right. They're celebrating Memorial Day savings all month long. All right. So you can slide into the Jeep Grand Cherokee this month. Not only is the most awarded SUV ever, it was also named Motor Week's best midsize utility vehicle for the past 2 years in a row. That's in addition to being a 2024 IIH's top safety pick. That's right, our pull away in the most luxurious, functional pickup truck on the market today, the 2025 Ram 1500. Oh, yes, the Ram truck, which just received the most coveted award in the pickup truck industry, the 2025 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Stop in today, all right? You tell them PHLY sent you. You'll get an additional $1,000 for your trade-in. That's another $1,000, all right, on top of the great deal that they're going to give you. So do yourself a favor. Go see Dante. Say, Leo, Dante, Anthony told me, all right, cuz said to go there. He'll take care of you, all right? You know, another $1,000. So it's a big deal. You're in the market. You got to do it. I don't know. I know people buy Jeeps and Rams trucks elsewhere. I don't know why. I don't get it, all right? Drive home your new Jeep or Ram truck today. Minutes from all bridges available online 24/7, cherryhilljeep.com. And let me tell you about Rothman Orthopedics. That's right, our friends at Rothman. We'll talk to a Rothman doctor today. I know, right? You feel that pain. You feel it, right? It could be just overuse of muscles, old age, you name it. It's coming. You got to keep it. I got a 12 and a 15-year-old, right? So I got to keep it. I feel it every day. Well, if you have any issues, you go to Rothman. VG went to Rothman. I went to Rothman for my Achilles. VG for his neck. Andrew for his neck, right? We're Rothman people. We go to Rothman Orthopedics. They have a team of specialists for each body part. That's right. Like whether it's knee, shoulder, elbow, neck, back, spine, like it's all there. They got you covered. All right. Get back into the game. And that is Rothman's mantra. They want you back moving. They want you back doing what you love to do. RothmanOrtho.com/PHLY. That's RothmanOrtho.com/PHLY. All right, Bryn. Who do we got? We got the brain? All right. Did you tell Jimmy we're good? Oh, perfect. All right, great. All right, let's go. Brain.
Brain. Red, the brain finder.
Brain. Oh, he's on the move.
Where you at?
On the move. On the
going
move.
now?
Chauffeuring around.
No, well, no, not that. Not that. Wait, you there? Oh shoot, I just got.
Hello, it's on. We got you.
Yeah, no, it's on. Yeah. No, we're just driving back from an appointment. So no, all is good. So yeah, Victoria is driving me right now. So
Brain brought to us by the Bet Park Sportsbook.
you get to see me on the move.
He's a character, Brain.
Yeah, he's got a driver at all times.
Right. Brain, you got to meet
Well,
Meg.
you know.
All right.
Hey, Brian.
Meg rules. All right. So Meg is the host city executive CEO for the World Cup 2026. She's bringing the World Cup to Philadelphia. All right. So
I can't wait for the World Cup. I cannot wait.
It's going to be a party, Brain.
I was looking into tickets. For that. Yeah, it's funny. It's something I cannot wait for it. I think it's going to be incredible.
So the brain is a bon vivant. He's a character, right? So he
love
goes.
bon vivant.
Yeah, he goes everywhere, right? Like he's at Pebble Beach this week,
right.
right? He goes to all these NBA finals. He's a professional sports bettor.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
And he does well, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Right. So he goes everywhere.
Okay.
He's like, I don't know, where am I at now? I'm in the front row at the Indiana, whatever game.
Jeeves, fire up the jet. I'm going to Pasadena.
Yeah.
He got firing up the jet. Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
he's got his G4.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Brain. Listen, we're a little tight today. It's a Friday.
Yep.
You know how nuts I am. So,
Yes, sir.
what do we got plays-wise for the weekend?
First of all, VG, you're lucky. I was 4-0 yesterday. Not being on the show would have.
What a convenience.
A little bit of a choke.
He's undefeated. He's not on the show.
Well, I actually
I believe
had one of my favorite
he don't
bets
lie.
of the year.
The brain tells the truth.
No, I'm not lying. It was 4, and funny. One, it was my favorite plays of the year. They had DeGrom versus Hunter Brown. The over/under in the 5-inning line was 4.5, which I thought was I thought it would be 1-0 or 0-0. It was 0-0. But anyway, 47 and 42 though, because then we don't get to count those 4 games. But still, we're above 500 finally now. I got 4 things today, and hopefully, me and VG will keep winning. I'll start out, VG. I'm going to go with the Kansas City Royals, Cole Reagans over Andrew Palente. We have to lay around $1.50-ish. Don't usually like laying a big price like that, but I think at home Reagans merits it.
Right.
I fully expect him to pitch a good game against. Yeah. What are you with, VG?
I'm going to anti your Jack Flaherty today. I'm taking the Blue Jays plus 102.
See that? Yeah, Jack Flaherty's been trying. VG, what's your record right now?
24 and 23, and game above 500.
Oh, okay, 24 and 20. Okay. Okay.
It's a battle,
I was
Meg.
gonna say,
And like they're all like
What's the bet?
So
Between them for
just
who wins?
pride.
Just
no, it's not.
It's
What are you
pride.
guys talking about? It's the butler.
Oh, it's the Butler?
Right.
Pride's everything. Pride's
Yeah.
everything, by the way.
That's a good one.
I'm going to
Yeah.
go.
It's like, he's got to fly VG down for a weekend because he's going to win.
Okay.
And he's going to fly VG down for the weekend. And VG's got to dress up
As a butler?
as a butler for the
Will
whole
you be
weekend.
recording that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He may like it and want to stay. That's the problem. He may
Yeah.
like, it's fun
You'll never
hanging out
get
with this
rid of
guy.
I'm not a Florida guy.
You'll never get rid of him.
Exactly. I love VG. It's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing.
All right, what do you got?
I'm gonna listen. I've been bit before with it with Washington. You know what? I'm gonna go with Toronto today. NHL getting around 2-1 odds against the Panthers. I know the Panthers have won 3 in a row. I know the Panthers go to the finals every year in the NHL. I get it. Still don't think they win this game 2 out of 3 times. Gonna take the underdog Maple Leafs to hopefully maybe send this back to a game 7.
I'm rooting for the Maple. Yep.
I'm going to Mets Yankees over 9.
Okay, I'm going to stick in that game, VJ, and I'm going to take pitcher Tyler McGill of the New York Mets. We're going to go over 5.5 strikeouts. He's 15 and 7 since he's become a starter, over that number, and he has about 145 strikeouts and only 115 innings since he's become a starter. Yankees 28th out of 30 in strikeouts, over 5.5 strikeouts. Tyler McGill.
All right. Go ahead, VG.
Phillies run line. Phillies minus 1.5 against the
Fights!
Buccos.
I get with Ranger.
Yeah, man.
What do you think
Ranger
about
Suarez,
Ranger,
yeah, I
man?
hear you.
Ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easing back in.
Yeah.
That was
There you
back.
go.
I'm a little worried about the back.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's my big nerve.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah. That and Nola.
That and all.
Well, they got Heaney
Solo.
today. Heaney kind of came back down to life last couple starts.
All right, Brain.
I got one last one. We're going to go Tanner Beebe, pitcher, Cleveland Guardians. We're going to go, I was debating between under 2.5 runs and over 16.5 outs, but I'm going to go over 16.5 outs. This is a bet that's won 17 out of his last 25. He's 17 over 16.5 out, only 8 under. I'm going to take my chances against an awful Reds lineup. They just can't score. I keep thinking they will. I'm going to go Tanner Beebe over 16.5 outs.
All right, over 16 outs. VG?
Nah, I'm done. I got my 3.
You got your 3?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. He
All
always
right.
does 3.
All right.
He
Okay.
does more. All
I
right.
can
Yeah,
tell
do
by
more.
the differentiation of their records.
Yes. Yeah, well, nothing gets by
Yeah.
Meg.
Quantity, not quality.
I see.
I'm a quality guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
you know.
Right.
Great stuff, buddy.
Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys Monday. Be good.
All right,
Have a
buddy.
good weekend, Brian.
Thanks, buddy. All
Nice
right.
to meet you.
There he is, the Brain.
There he is.
Brain's a character. He's fun. He's funny. All right, I got to tell you, Brain is brought to us by, you name it. That's right, the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. What are the fights tonight?
Oh, fights are heavy. Hold on. Let me see. They are.
I know they're big
minus 235.
Wow, over the buckos.
The run line's minus 109. So
All
take the
right.
run line.
Well, we're brought to you by the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. You got the fightings. You got all your NBA, NHL, whatever you got right on the app, including you guys. There's always another way to win, like the casino. And my man VG loves it. What was your slots? He plays the slots.
I'm on. They got a new one, Agent Valkyrie. A little like air, like pilot theme to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right with that.
He likes the aardvark.
Listen, I know.
Artie the armadillo.
My dad and stepmom, big parks.
Yeah.
That was-
yeah.
Oh,
just,
right.
just there
Right.
last,
Nice.
just
Oh,
last
that's
week with
great.
dad.
That's
Playing the
fantastic.
slots with my dad.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Always a
That's-
good time.
That's look at it. I'm gonna make you do the read. You got to check it out. Always another way to win on the app. Live dealer, blackjack, roulette, you name it. It's right there. All the slots we just talked about. Check it out. In fact, new customers get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. You got to be betparks.com has all the details. You got to be 21. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, VG.
Let's talk about our friends over at GLAT HAIR. GLAT HAIR has been restoring and defending hairlines for over 30 years, so it's no wonder they got the reputation that they do. Their proven results, experienced team, just a few reasons. The GLAT HAIR name has stood the test of time. GLAT HAIR by Morgenstern Medical isn't just about restoration. Nah, these days it's also about innovation. Their breakthrough specialized GLAT HAIR technique really does dramatically change lives and hairlines. The GLAT HAIR technique consists of a few things. You get one-on-one care. You get a 100% personalized hair restoration plan of action designed just for you and your specific hair loss. You get follow-up care and cutting-edge hair loss prevention treatments, medications, and more. GLAT HAIR can help you keep the hair you already have or help you bring back the hair you've already lost. So if you'd like more information and are ready to defend that hairline of yours today, visit GLATHairMM.com, GLATHairMM.com, or call, text them, 610-980-4000, 610-980-4000. GLAT HAIR by Morgenstern Medical.
All right, there you go. Coming up in about 6 minutes, we will talk to Baldy, go over the NFL schedule, go over the Eagles schedule. I know you were waiting for the
Of
schedule.
course. I love schedule release.
Yeah, it's the best.
It's the best. It's great. I love the draft. Draft is going to Pittsburgh next year too.
I know.
Which is cool.
Yeah, very
right?
cool. Very
Definitely,
cool.
I
Yeah.
think it'll be fun out there. I mean,
Well-
Pennsylvania's got a lot of sports happening. Like if you have a bucket list for sports in 26, like Pennsylvania's your state. Draft, NCAA men's first and second round here, PGA,
Yes.
right? Out
Yes.
of Agronomic,
Yes.
FIFA World Cup,
Yes.
MLB All-Star Game.
Yes.
Done.
How cool is that?
Done.
Done.
I mean, there's
Done.
bucket
Mic
lists
drop.
everywhere.
I'm out.
So, you know what's funny? I want to get back to this because you bring up the draft and you talked about the draft being a big part when the NFL draft was here. And I think the NFL is brilliant in everything it does, right?
It's an incredible
Yeah,
machine.
it really
just
is.
really is. It's impressive.
And I think they almost they wanted to take the draft on the road and get. I used to cover it when I was at Radio City, and it was nice, but
Yeah,
they
it's
wanted
a little stayed.
right. But you wanted to go out and make it a traveling circus, right?
Yeah.
Make it a big deal. And I think they wanted Philadelphia to kick it off because one of the early
It was
venues.
I think it was the second venue.
It was.
after
It's Chicago.
Right.
Yes.
Chicago started, and then we were next up. We were next up in 17.
And I was at both. I was in Chicago, and it was great. And it was near the art museum, which is great, Chicago Art Museum of Art.
Right.
And then it came here.
it was a game changer for the NFL.
Right.
I think it set the bar. I think it set the bar for all the other NFL drafts that have come after it. I think what you see that in markets like Detroit, right? You see what Green Bay did,
Yep.
right? I mean, I think what Philly did in terms of that grand showcase, it cannot be overstated how important like that is, not just to probably what the draft has become for the NFL, but what it has become as a really outstanding case study for other major sporting events in Philly, right? And so, I mean, shout out to, Larry Needle and Brian Stanko and Greg Karen and that team for all the work that they've done around those sporting events, but specifically the draft.
Well, what was amazing was the city shone so bright, right? Like, the Art Museum, the Parkway, like one of the most underrated places, parts of our city is the Parkway. Like,
absolutely.
I mean, it's models. It's supposed to be the Champs-Élysées, right? Like,
exactly. And
it's that
we have there's a new museum that's being added there.
Yes.
Calder Gardens that opens in the fall, right?
So it opens in the fall. I was wondering when that.
Yeah. So I mean, when you think about how the Parkway has come to life, it's such a vibrant part of the city, and it is a showpiece. It's an incredible showpiece.
Well, it's funny. I look at our town, and yes, I'm a homer. I'm an unabashed homer. Okay, I don't care. How beautiful! First of all, City Hall. There's no other city like it where you have this main thoroughfare that leads right into the mouth of City Hall, right? And then you go north, and then you go to the left on the Parkway. And then you take the Parkway with it's the grand thoroughfare, right? With the flags, and it winds around, and it's beautiful, and it leads you to the art museum. Yes.
Right, and the museum.
That's surrounded.
It's incredible.
It's such a
I live at 19th and Callow Hill.
Oh,
so, I
well,
mean, it's I walk to work every day.
Yeah, right, right.
Right, and I stop when I hit that, the stop in the middle. I mean, there's mornings where you're like,
right?
This is pretty great.
It is.
Right? Look left, you've got the fountain.
Right.
Look right, it's art museum.
Yeah.
It's really a spectacular part of the city.
I just love it. And it excites me that will be on stage, right? Mm-hmm. And it also forces us to get everything tip top. Yeah. Right? It's every city needs
that feeling, right? Like that was like my
you're the greatest. You really are Philadelphian. Company's coming.
Break out your fancy.
Company. We got company.
Break out your fancy soap.
It's our family. Our family comes here every year, whatever.
Right. But you had to get out the special soap, right? Like you can't, you would change, right? Like you'd have.
That's right.
Right. And when we
fill the candy dish.
Candy dish. That's right. Yeah. I know. I like that's everything. Got to get it right.
I freaking love you. You are the perfect CEO for this. You really are, because you live and breathe us, and you love sports.
Love it.
And you're great at your job. Nice. And this is perfect.
Yeah, it's a dream.
The way the draft. Think about how we celebrate, right? This is an NFL draft. If you think about it, years ago it was in a hotel, right? It was in a ballroom.
Yeah, like, how boring is that?
Right. Like, this was a draft. Like, we saw it in Philadelphia. You mentioned festival, and it felt like a music festival that people were just enjoying themselves.
Yes.
It wasn't even about like, I'm a nerd, right? I'm a football nerd.
Right.
Right.
Sure, you've got a mock draft board going.
Right. Like, this guy's 40 times. This guy, look at the film and all that nonsense. But the way we celebrated the draft was fun. It was just so music and partying.
And that's what this is. That's really what this is going to feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the coolest part of this, right? There's going to be these big matches, but it is going to feel like a little bit of like just a festival everywhere, a party everywhere. And I think that's, there's soccer bars all over the city.
Yes.
Right? That are going to be absolutely on fire, right?
Oh,
you've got,
will there be, like, say Argentina comes, you try and partner all with local, like, Argentinian restaurants or bars?
Absolutely. I mean, once we understand which nations are coming, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we also look at this as an opportunity that, like, we don't want it to just be in Center City, right? Like, our neighborhoods are vibrant.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like, the neighborhood is vibrant.
Big time.
There's great food. There's, great areas to go visit. There's, boutiques and shops. So what we want to be able to do is match up who's coming with those neighborhoods,
Right.
and really encourage people to
Yeah.
go into those communities.
Yeah.
I mean, Africa Town
Yeah.
is so excited
Right.
about what's happening. I mean, we get Brazil, Castor Avenue might have to shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah, or North
Yeah.
Broadway,
Yeah.
Korea.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So like, there's all these different areas that I think that we want to be able to tap into.
Yeah.
There will be that Lemon Hill component, but I also think there's the organic, authentic
Yeah.
pieces that are just going to happen that are going to be magic,
They will.
right?
They
And
will.
you don't
Yeah.
have to over orchestrate
Right.
this.
That's
You
right.
have to plan what we need to plan. We have to do it incredibly well and to the level of what Philadelphia delivers for big events. But then there's just the organic happenings,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's the cool part that we can't know until it
Yes.
starts happening,
That's right.
right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
You got to be open
Yeah.
to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I always say it, like, and you never know where it's going to take you,
Mhm.
but you have to be open to it because that's when the greatness will happen when you least.
And that's
When
the
you don't
one thing,
plan for
when
it.
you don't plan for it,
That's
right?
right.
But the one thing I will say is like what is so important is that we really need like everybody in Philadelphia to stay. and be
Yes.
part of it.
Yes.
Like I know it's the summer, like,
Right, sure.
I know
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
we're going to the shore,
right.
right? Or but I also the thing that breaks my heart sometimes when I talk to people is that their immediate like inclination is
Is
to
to
be like
flee.
we should leave.
Yeah.
Like there's
The
no
Pope.
right,
I left
the-
during the Pope.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm one of those, but
Right.
I'm staying for this.
Right, but the thing is that's what you want to say to people, like
Yeah.
stay,
Yeah.
be
Right.
part of this,
Right.
Because like
I think that's got to be
nothing
part
else
of our
like
messaging
it. Absolutely
to everyone. You're spot on. Like now, no,
right.
don't go for one summer. Listen, sure, it's not going anywhere.
That's right.
Before the World Cup, after the World Cup, you can go and hang out. But during this period, stay and make it a part. Make it special.
Yeah.
By the way, July 4th
Well,
here.
they picked us because of our
Right.
people,
Yes.
because of the feeling, because of the authenticity,
Mhm.
right? Like, what happened? Like, again, it goes back to that question: like, who are we if you can't hear us roar? Like, that's like we need people here to be part of. Everybody's on the host committee.
Right.
Everybody's part of the welcome, right? It doesn't feel like Philly if it doesn't have Philadelphians. It's part of it.
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's at the heart of what Catherine at Level's doing with Ambassadors.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
So like that's kind of the idea. Is
Yeah,
like,
I
we
love
want
that.
people to stay
Yeah.
and like be part of the party.
Yeah.
And like to bring your kids and to kind of experience the city, almost be a tourist in your own town.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We don't get a chance to do that. This is a great excuse to be a tourist in our own town. We're also going to need volunteers.
Yes,
All right.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
absolutely. And I'm going to send Allison Grove over here to talk to you about volunteers.
well,
so you're going to need a
yeah.
whole hour on that one.
Yeah, we're going to get
We need
everything
lots of
covered, but we're
volunteers. Yes,
going to
yes.
need a lot
Need
of our
volunteers.
people to be a part of this thing.
Absolutely. It's a huge part of it for FIFA.
Yeah.
It's a huge part of the experience. And frankly, we want people, their experience starts at the airport. It
Right.
Starts at 30th Street
Right.
Station. Whether they're taking SEPTA in or they're coming from another place. That's the cool part.
That's exactly right. All right. I want you to meet, all
This
right,
is Baldy.
the legend.
The
That's my
legend.
boy.
Right. The
Right.
legend.
He's the greatest,
The
right?
man, the myth, the legend.
Yes.
Baldy.
And
I got
and
you.
listen, Meg, right? Like he'll be perfect for us for the World Cup. All right.
Absolutely.
He's international.
Yeah.
He's an international man.
That's right.
He loves culture.
Cosmopolitan.
Yeah. Why he and I bonded not over football,
Yeah.
but over culture.
Yeah.
Because he's a cultured man. He's the one, the only Baldy.
Baldy, Baldy. Oh, let's talk some football. Ay, Baldy, Baldy. Oh, he likes meats and football.
Oh, Baldy. There you go, brother.
Baldy.
All right. I got to introduce you. All right?
Yes.
All right. So, Baldy, I want you. Now, Meg is the most amazing person. Meg Kane, all right? She's the host city executive CEO for the World Cup. She's in charge of World Cup Philly, all right? Now, she's
All right.
amazing.
You're talking to the right guy. I've been to 5 of them around the world.
They're amazing, right?
Listen, Meg, my first experience in the World Cup, I went to Italy.
Oh, wow.
We saw Italy and Ireland play in Olympic Stadium in Rome in 1990. and I got hooked that day. So I've been to France in 1998. I've been to Germany in 2002. I've been to Brazil. I've been to World Cups all over the world now. Like I'm hooked.
Well, you got to come to
It's
Philly.
a phenomenal event.
You're coming to Philly for World Cup, right? We're playing at
Of course.
we're playing at
I'll
Lincoln
set my
Financial.
tent up right there.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
He's got a whole play. We'll have a kickoff party at his house.
That'd be great.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let me ask you something, Meg, because the last World Cup I went to was in Brazil in 2012. I think it was 12, maybe it was 16,
14.
whatever. Anyways, they had, not everybody can afford to go. Tickets go quickly. But I was curious, like they had an unbelievable viewing party on Copacabana Beach where people could just come and watch it on big screens. Do you have like accommodations for that kind of thing?
Tell him, Meg.
Yes, Baldy. We're actually hosting a FIFA Fan Festival up at Lemon Hill Park. So right behind the art museum, like up on the hill that overlooks Boathouse Row. So we're gonna have about 20 to 25,000 people there per day. Huge watch party. And we're working with like Welcome America because we have a July 4th match too, just to make it a little bit more exciting. So we'll be, kind of doing everything that we need to do in tandem with all the celebrations around July 4th, the concert on the Parkway, our event up at Lemon Hill Park. So yeah, we're gonna have something similar to that, which I think is gonna be awesome. And it's free to the public to go, which is like such a cool thing to be able to have people come in and spend the day. And as you know, if you experience that, I mean, the beach scene in Brazil was off the chain. It was crazy.
It was good.
It was really, some real experiences.
Listen, you're going to be a part of this, man. We're going to be broadcasting there every day. All right, from Lemon Hill. We're going to have the whole thing. So you're going to be making your special appearances out there. We're going to have a lot of fun with this thing.
It's a phenomenal event. It really is. I know we hosted it back in 1994, Meg.
That's right.
In the United States, it was a big event. I think this is going to be so much bigger right now.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, it was and it's still, that 94 one holds the record for most tickets ever sold for World Cups still.
Wow. Until now.
Probably till 26.
Yeah, we're going to bury that.
Yeah, I think we're going to bury that with this. But
it's a big deal. It's a big deal when you're a host city and you're hosting matches. It's because I know, everybody bids. Everybody wants a piece of it. And so to get it, like that's an accomplishment all by itself.
Thank you. We're excited.
Baldy, it's interesting too because like the way this thing's going to play out, I mean, there's more matches. So they added another tier. So that now there's more matches. Now it's 48.
48 teams and 104 matches to play. So it's a long tournament.
So this is historic that you're going to have. It's like the NCAA tournament going from 32 to 64, right? Like back in the day.
Oh yeah.
We're now going from 32 to 48. That's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
That's going to be awesome.
Do we know who the United States is paired with? What division they're in?
The draw happens in December.
But
December, okay.
US is going to play on the West Coast, though. That's where they'll start. Their first matches they got 2 in LA and 1 in Seattle.
All right.
So, unfortunately, we're not.
Why is that? Just curious.
So the host countries, my understanding is the host countries are allowed to put in a request as to where they want their team base camps to be because of they know them best.
Sure.
And U.S. My understanding is the Federation put in for Carson City, the California base camp, so that leaves them on the West Coast to start, and then they would travel.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, away the weather.
It's interesting though because that was before the announcement of U.S. Federation moving to Atlanta for the brand. They're doing the whole federation moving from Chicago to Atlanta.
Yeah.
So it would have been interesting. I wonder if that if it would have been Atlanta, that could have put them in play on the East Coast. But
that's all right.
It's all right. It's good.
Actually, I think it's more interesting having the world come here.
Yeah.
Right. Like
we're still going to party for the U.S. men's national team. Like
of
that's
course.
the thing. That's still going to be a big moment. Right, that's going to be.
That goes without saying.
Right. Exactly.
That's like EAGLES.
Got it.
Speaking of which, Baldy, schedule out. All right. So your first overarching thoughts on it, and then I got stuff I want to bore down with you.
Well, I mean, I think I mean, I don't know if it's. I think the Giants have the toughest schedule, but anybody playing in the NFC East this year is got their hands full. I mean, it's a difficult schedule. Teams that have given the Eagles trouble, they will see. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I mean, Kansas City, week 2 in Kansas City. I'm sure I'll be at that game, 425 CBS. It's going to be it's like the rubber match, between these Super Bowls here of playing Kansas City. I know the guys in the Eagles can't stand Kansas City. They hate the attention they get. So that'll be a little bit of a grudge. Week 2 out there at Arrowhead. But you play Thursday night, you get 10 days to get ready for Kansas City. I mean, I just think you kind of getting a little bit of an advantage there, but I like the schedule because it's difficult. And all the games, it's not like they're playing New Orleans and playing Carolina. They don't have any mutts on the schedule. Like you get through this schedule, you're going to be tested for the postseason.
A couple things I didn't get. All right, the week 6 and 8 Giants and 16 and 18 Commanders. Why wouldn't you flop one of those things? Like playing 2 teams, division teams in 3 weeks, you don't get Washington until the end. Yeah.
Well, I think they think that Washington's a real competitor, so they want to save those division games for the final stretch. So I think that's part of it. But I'm not a big fan of playing the same team 2 out of 3 weeks. Like I'm not a big fan of that. But maybe it'll play out. We'll see what Washington's like. You can't predict that far in advance. I thought the bye week comes at a good time. So I think there's some advantages, but look, they got a target on their back regardless. Everybody's going to be gunning for the Eagles. So that's, it's like, they've got 6 primetime, 6 standalone primetime games Thursday to kick the season off. Those games, look, you're playing on different days of the week, and so your schedule is going to be kind of mixed up. But Kansas City's doing the same thing. Kansas City's got 7. They embraced it. They embraced it last year. Yeah. And they won 15 games. So just embrace it. Like whatever. They want you to play Thursday night. They want you to play, on holidays. Embrace the whole thing.
I'm with you. I'm actually disappointed, to be honest with you, that they didn't get enough. They only got 1 Sunday night game. And the early part of the schedule, some good opponents, they're playing at 1 o'clock. I didn't understand that. The Rams, you're playing at 1. Minnesota, you're playing at 1. Like really good teams are 1 o'clock games. I'm shocked the NFL didn't take advantage of it.
I got to, kind of check the Eagles schedule versus what NBC's doing on Sunday night or Monday night, and to see what they took instead of Eagles Rams, because I thought that should have been a primetime game based on what Saquon did last year, based on the playoff game. How close the Rams were to knocking the Eagles off. I would have thought that would have been a marquee matchup for sure.
Yeah, I be honest with you, I was a little disappointed at that. VG, find that out. Who are they playing that Sunday night against when the Eagles play the Rams? Who's on NBC that night? Well, the other thing that the only real trouble spot, and it is 4 games in 18 days that happen after the bye. So it's weird because you got a bye week, and then you don't play till Monday night in Green Bay, and then you got Green Bay, then you got Detroit, then you got Dallas, and you wind up, and then you have the Black Friday game against Chicago. So you have 4 games in 18 days. That's a lot for an 18-day stretch.
No question. I mean, you Sunday you're in Dallas, and then you're home on Thanksgiving to play the Bears. I mean, then you're on the road to the Chargers. I mean, that's tough stretch for anybody. But you're the champions. I mean, you want to repeat, go knock them off. Just show everybody just how talented you are, how well built you are.
Right.
The one thing that Howie has done, to his credit, is they've got great depth at almost every position. And so your depth is going to get tested. Last year it was. Mekhi Becton, when he went down, they had Fred Johnson come in from Alada. I mean, I told Fred, you play well in this stretch, you're going to get a big free agent contract, and he did. So your depth on your offensive line, your defensive fronts, if they lose any valuable guys, I mean, it's going to get tested during that stretch. And so I think they're built for it. We'll see, hopefully Jalen stays healthy. Last year, actually every year now, like he's missed some time just from his style of play. And so that quarterback position, Pickett came in, played good last year. But, that quarterback position is key to what you have, behind Jalen if he goes down for a game or two.
Yeah, yeah.
So that night, Chiefs, Giants.
What? Why are the Giants
Right.
on 3 times, Baldy?
Yeah, I don't get that. I honestly don't. They have the toughest schedule in the league. They've got the toughest schedule. Like they won 3 games last year. So if they win 5 games with this schedule, it's a great season. Like their schedule is brutal.
You're right. He's right on the Vegas. Vegas got him 5.5. The over under.
Like, why would you put that team? You got Eagles Rams that day.
Yeah.
And you're putting Chiefs, who are the most overexposed team, except for one. And this I don't get. Your freaking Cowboys. Why the hell are the Cowboys on 7 national league? Tell them 6. But still, they get all the 425s too. What in the world are we seeing with the Cowboys?
Well, come on, cuz. Like you can answer this question. You can ask the question, but you also can answer it. They're a ratings bonanza. All right? I mean, they always have
Until
been.
they stink, and then nobody
Doesn't
cares
matter.
about them.
They were 7-9. They were 7-10 last year, or whatever they were. Like they were terrible, but it doesn't matter. It's the Cowboy. Like you love them or you hate them, but you watch them. You root against them.
No, but Baldy, that was true. I'll give you
It's
15
still true.
years ago.
They're the most valuable franchise in the whole business. They're worth more than any other franchise. It's just the facts.
Yeah, but Baldy,
Like the TV ratings don't lie.
don't you think that their TV ratings are good because they're always playing like the primetime game or the national game? There's no other games to watch. So their ratings, of course, are up.
No. They put those teams on because people's eyeballs are going to them. They want to see Jerry Jones's face melt in a playoff loss. They want to see Dak choke. They want to see Micah Parsons get drilled into the ground. Like this is what they live for. It's what fans live for. They just to make the Cowboys irrelevant. Like that's a
But they
ratings
are
bonanza.
relevant.
Right.
They are. They haven't won in 30 years.
I sent you that statistic.
Yes.
I mean, like it's crazy. All the things the Eagles have accomplished since the
I read it on
Cowboys
the
last
air.
played in a championship
And
game.
cited you, Baldy. It's unbelievable. They're 8 because the Cowboys have been in 8 championships since the last time they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They've been in they've made 8, have played 8 playoff games total.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just get
Here's one, Baldy. The Cowboys are the only NFC team not to appear in an NFC championship game since 1995 season.
Are you
I
ready?
know.
Here you go. This is what Baldy sent. All right. Since 2000, the Eagles and the Cowboys met up. That was the pickle juice game. Remember that?
Yeah, pickle juice. First game of the season.
Yes.
Yep.
Deuce ran for
Deuce went off.
232. It was like over 200 yards. So the Cowboys have been to the playoffs 10 times. All right? Since 2000. 0 conference championship games. Now, the Eagles have been to the playoffs 17 times, 8 championship games, 4 Super Bowls, 2 victories.
Look, I mean,
And they get less primetime games.
And we get less than the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Why?
no, we got the same amount, right? We both got 6.
Yeah, but here's the difference. We got like Fugazi ones, like Saturday, right? Friday. You know, they're getting Sunday night, Monday night.
Well, here's a
We only get one
scheduling
Sunday
quirk.
night.
But here's a scheduling quirk, okay, that I never thought could ever be possible. The Cowboys this year are going to play on 4 Thursday night games. So they play the Eagles opening week of the season. They play Thanksgiving, which is their traditional Thursday Thanksgiving. They play the following Thursday against the Lions. And then they play later in the year, they play Christmas, which is a Thursday.
Wow.
4 Thursday night games. It was when Thursday night football started back in 2005 or 6, whatever it was. Every team was supposed to play once on a Thursday night. Cowboys are playing 4 Thursday night games.
Come on. And here's the other thing they're killing us, right? Thanksgiving and Christmas are the same teams. You know, Thanksgiving, I got Cowboys, the Lions, the Chiefs. Well, Christmas, the Cowboys, the Lions, the Chiefs. Yo, Meg.
I don't make the schedule. Again, I mean, there's a lot I control because I don't do this.
You control the NFL schedule.
You know
now.
people.
Let me-
I don't know.
You know
who
the
won
Pope.
this.
You know
Please.
FIFA. Come on.
No, but let me ask Meg this question, because this is what the NFL has just, like, AI is making the schedule,
Right.
right? So is it I'm sure same thing FIFA. I'm sure they're using similar type
Software.
derivatives in order to draw up the schedule.
Well, they have a draw. There is an actual event where they pull the countries out of the hat, literally,
Yeah.
and hold up the thing. So it's a little bit more. It has like an NBA draft feel to it. Like,
Yeah,
it
that's
has-
cool.
right?
Yeah.
So like that's how you
Pull
figure
it out the country.
Right. You pull out the country, you hold it up, and they bring
Yeah.
all these different players in. So
Okay.
it actually is really different from that NFL. It's also it's
Well,
really
it's
about
all the
getting
schedule. Like, what happens is that would come in after.
correct.
You know.
Well, what I imagine they may. It's going to be really interesting to see where the countries fall in all the different group stages, right? Because then I think the biggest challenge that FIFA is going to have is match times, right? When do they want certain teams to
Right,
play?
right.
Because you've got 4 time zones you're accommodating right across US, Mexico, Canada. But then you're also thinking about like, well, what's prime time in Europe?
Right.
Right?
Right.
Like, what's prime time in Asia? What's prime time? Like, where are those matches that they want to feature?
Sure.
Right. So I think that's going to be the hardest part.
Well, do you think, will they take into account population of ethnicity? Like, I don't know, let's take Italy,
Yeah.
right? And they go, all right, well, New York, Philadelphia, Boston, there's a lot of Italians. Do you think that they would send Italy to one of those? Or, all right.
Well, the way that the groups are already like placed, so you kind
Okay.
of like know, and then they funnel the nations into those groups, right?
Gotcha.
So like they have a schedule out
Right.
already where it's like match
A,
1,
right.
right? A versus D, that kind of thing. So it's really about funneling those teams
And they'll
in.
slot
so
the teams.
They'll slot the teams that way. But I mean, I would imagine though, like Club World Cup's probably a better example, right?
Right.
What's happening this summer of like looking and saying like, all right, like where to match certain teams into certain cities or
Right.
players or things like that. I mean, at the end of the day, to the point about like in Italy, that's probably the Dallas Cowboy example, right? Like if they're doing it, right? Like there's going to be people that are going to tune in to watch no matter what, right? Like who are
Right.
the most popular teams? Like, the joke among the 16 host cities is like, who's getting Argentina? Who's getting Brazil? Who's getting, right? Like that.
Right.
Because like you hit one of those in the group stage, it totally changes how you're planning for everything.
Right.
Because of the
right.
way
If you want to
Where they
tour,
travel. Yeah.
if you want to tour Rome, go tour Rome when Italy is playing in a World Cup match on a Sunday. Like there is nobody on the street.
Yeah.
Nobody.
It's that's
You can
so
do whatever you
true.
wanna
Like,
do.
and that's going to be the way it is all around the world, right? FIFA joke. I mean, FIFA told us during the bid process, you'll get kicked out of this. Like, and it's funny the NFL doesn't say this, but when the World Cup starts, the world stops. Like that's
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
Right?
Yes.
So in a lot of ways, and it's funny because you have to use the NFL example. We
I
were
love
talking
that.
about this, Baldy, all the time. Like, getting people to understand how big the World Cup is really hard because in America, everyone's like, we get like, oh, it's like Eagles Dallas, or this is going to be, this is the number of people who are going to tune in. And like, there were 240 million people that tuned in globally for Eagles Chiefs
Oh, yeah.
this past Super Bowl. We're looking at possibly 3 billion people for the World Cup final.
Oh, my
Billion
God.
with a B.
How amazing
No, but
is that going to be?
But if you look at the size of the country of Holland and you look at that fan base, Big Orange,
Yeah.
and you see those parades of the Dutch, like they
wait.
take over the world.
Wait, Baldy, tell the story about when you went to the security conference.
Right. So we were, we've been helping to prepare, we're working closely with Philadelphia Police Department, Office of Emergency Management, all the people that, typically
Sure.
do big events. And we in our briefings, we would talk about the way the fans would be, going to the stadium and marching and singing. And there was a little bit like, sure, but like, what time did the lots open? Right? Like, it always came back to like,
They're
the
thinking
tailgate.
Eagles Cowboys.
Eagles Cowboys, and there's a tailgate. And we kept being like, it's not, no, the lots aren't opening. Like, that's not how this works. This is going to be very different. And so we sent a group down to the safety and security conference for FIFA, and FIFA showed them the Orange Crush, the Dutch. Yeah. And they were all like, what is that? And we're like, people. That's the people. And that's them marching at UEFA, like a champion, like that, like at the Euro, right? Like that's them at the Euro. So not even the World Cup. And like they were like, and FIFA was telling them about the fact that people were taking like flights in, like just for the day, just so they could be part of the march. And then they were getting back on flights and flying home. Like that is stuff that we're going to see here.
Think about the Orange Crush. Or what was it? Is it orange?
No, but
think about
I saw a match.
Down Broad Street. The march down.
I saw a match one time. I saw a match in Marseille, France. It was Brazil and Norway. And I was on this train coming from Rome to Marseille, and it was all Brazilians. Brazil completely took over the entire city of Marseille.
Yeah.
The party that they threw before the match was like you couldn't, as far as the eye could see, it was just nothing but Brazilians, and they bring their band and their drums and their costumes, and it's like it looks like it's carnival. I mean, it's just carnival, just taking over. It's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see a lot of that. Like, I think that's exactly what's going to happen in Philly, and I think it's just the part that, like, I was saying to Anthony earlier, like, Philly's really good at taking over cities, right, for NFL. Like, but, like, when we go, it's like there's one bar, and then, like, or there's, like, a meeting, there's, like, one meetup, and then everybody goes to the stadium, and, we take over the stadium. But there's still, like, it's not the same as, like, oh, well, there's thousands of fans coming who aren't going to the match and are going to stay, like, and are just going to be here for the party that starts at, 8 a.m. and we're playing at, that's a big component of this. And I was in Qatar in 22.
Wow.
Which was a cool experience.
That had to be wild.
It was a really interesting experience, like fascinating on a lot of different levels. But we stayed in the hotel where the Brazilians, like the Brazilians were staying, the fans. And I said,
they know how to throw a party.
Oh my God. I said, they celebrate and mourn the same way during the World Cup. Like the party just kept going. Like it was like, we were there when they won one night and it went to 7 a.m. And we were there when they got knocked out and it went to 7 a.m. And it was just like, all right, like this is how it goes.
Oh, this is going to be amazing, man. We're going to have so much fun.
We're going to have a blast.
This is going to be awesome. This is going to be incredible. All right, brother. Listen, next week, you're around. We're getting together next week, right? We'll
get together later in the week. I got to go do this football camp in LA today.
So, in fact, we were going to have Richmond on. There was a mix-up.
Okay.
You're going to be coaching the top 75 high school kids. I got my man Danny D here. You're going to be doing the top. This is going to be awesome. Like,
yeah, this is big. This is a big deal. Like I remember 5 years ago, I was at a camp with Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Doug Neusmeyer. Like, I mean, it was Kyle McCord was there. Like, their parents were there. It was big. This is going to be similar, but now we have offensive linemen coming too. So we'll get the next Jordan Mailata. Some of these Polynesian kids that are coming. It's going to be fun.
I love it. And will the NFL Network have a piece of it? Will it be aired at all? I think I saw something about
only if I drop it in clips.
Okay.
Like it'll get aired. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got to make sure we do that because I want to see it. Send me the video. I need to see the video. So send it to you.
Yeah, I'll show you, cuz.
All right, brother. Safe trip.
Meg, this was a treat.
Yeah, it was great to meet you.
Great visiting with you. Really.
Yeah, same. Look forward to it.
If you need an ambassador on your end to promote the World Cup, like
Paulie, I'll be in touch.
Yeah.
Yes, give me a ring.
Whatever city Brazil's in, he wants to be the
ambassador. He's the ambassador. Brazil. Look at him, he's laughing.
You just send me to Salvador. Salvador da Bahia. That party never ends in Brazil.
I got Italy, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Oh, you're taking. All right.
Well, everybody's taking a country.
I'll take the Dutch. I love Amsterdam.
Dutch, great.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, brother. Good stuff.
All right. See you guys.
See you, pal. We gotta take care. Hey, don't go anywhere. Just hang out. All right. You gotta meet Danny D anyway. Danny's here. We're gonna do lunch. All right, Danny. All right, with Meg. Meg rules. hey, every other Friday, and then every Friday during the season, we were telling you about Rothman, right,
Yeah.
VG?
Yeah.
And
Saved my life.
The great doctors doing God's work, the doctors at Rothman Orthopedics. And Rachel Shaked joins us. Dr. Rachel, hi, Doc. How are you?
Hi.
What's up, Doc?
Nice to meet you guys.
What a pleasure, Doc. Doc, meet Meg.
Hey, Doc.
All
How
right.
are you?
All
Hi.
right.
Nice to meet you.
So Meg is in charge. She's the CEO of the executive, the host city CEO, executive CEO, bringing the World Cup to Philadelphia. And I know how much you love sports, and the mecca of sports is going to be here. And Meg is running this thing to bring it to Philadelphia, be the center of the stage.
Awesome. It's an honor to meet you.
Great to meet you, Doctor. And we appreciate all the work the good work you're doing on our athletes, even on the field.
So, Doc, we're going to talk Achilles tendons today because of Jason Tatum. Now, I'll tell you that Rothman saved my. Well, I have a cadaver Achilles in my left foot. I thought I was going to have it in my right foot. And I'm like, oh my God, it's going to go. And I go see the great doctors, Dr. Pedowitz, and all you people over there who I love. And he's like, listen, I think we can fix this without surgery. And they put these patches, what are the patches for your heart?
Nitroglycerin patches.
Yeah,
Yep.
he had me put them on my Achilles to stimulate the blood flow. And my God, it worked. No pain.
Yeah, I know.
It's amazing. You guys are brilliant.
I know. Whoever figured that one out was very smart. An off-label use of that medication that's normally cardiac.
It's incredible. So tell us, we know you're not the physician for Jason Tatum, but we talk about injuries on this segment. And tell us about the torn Achilles, because it's the most painful. I thought I got shot by a gun in the back of my leg.
Yep. That's what people say. Almost everyone who walks in who has an Achilles rupture has a story like that. They think that someone hit them in the back of the leg with a bat or someone kicked them. It's the same story every time. It's the Achilles, actually, it's the biggest tendon in the body, but has a weak spot because the blood supply to the central part of it is not very good. And so the Achilles is undergoing incredible forces, especially in basketball players, football players, soccer players. And so with certain types of specific forces, it can cause it to rupture. And that's because it is like a weak spot.
And, mine ruptured and curled up into my calf. So it was a complete tear. What are you now? What's the protocol? Because I did mine a while ago and it's changed a bit. So what's the procedure now?
Yeah, so there's still a number of really good options, but we've definitely made changes over the past maybe 10, 20 years, moving towards smaller incisions, moving towards enhancing the repair, using anchors sometimes or special sutures. Some docs are using biologic augmentation that can help with the healing process. And in addition to the surgery itself, the rehab has come a long way too. It used to be that we would put patients in a cast after surgery.
Oh my God, Rach.
For a long time.
Doc, listen, the worst thing in the world. So I'm in a cast, my foot pointing down. All right.
Yep.
So doctor's like, all right, cast comes off I had, if you want to talk about shrinkage, my calf, I lost all the muscle, my calf muscle, right? Atrophied.
Yeah. In like 2 weeks, right?
Yes. And then
so fast.
Then he starts to push on the Achilles to stretch it out.
Oh man!
On my back, my foot. Oh my God! It was worse than the rupture. I was like, the pain was ridiculous. It was unreal.
Yeah. Treating Achilles is difficult because you really need the tendon to heal before you start strengthening the calf muscle again. So all that time that you're letting the tendon heal, you're like losing muscle. So that's why the recovery takes so long and why the return to sport has been such a, like months, 8 months, 9 months. In some cases we've gotten it a little bit shorter, but it's almost like on the level of an ACL rupture where the reconstruction needs to heal before you can start building the quad again.
Are you is it a predestined injury? Like, is there a weakness in it? And if so, like, is the other one at risk?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, most people who rupture their Achilles have no warning. It seems like it happens out of the blue. There are things that can increase your risk of the Achilles rupturing, like certain steroids. There are certain antibiotics that are risky. Some people have tendinitis, probably like what you have on the other side. And if there's bad tendinitis, sometimes that can lead to a rupture. But many of these professional athletes and college athletes who sustain this injury have no warning whatsoever. And there's nothing we really know of that can prevent it. And once you rupture one side, especially if you're on the younger side in like your 20s or early 30s, you are at higher risk for rupturing the other side. The risk is still low, but it's there, and it is slightly elevated, unfortunately.
Is there ways to, like, especially for like weekend warriors, like, because that's what we do here, to ways to help prevent any sort of Achilles injuries? Like, obviously stretching and stuff like that, but ice, I don't know. What's the best way to prevent it?
Yeah, I mean, stretching makes a lot of sense, because if you have too much tension, if your tendon is too tight, you can imagine that it would probably be higher risk for rupturing. Other than that, there's nothing that's been proven. They've looked into like types of sneakers, maybe more flexible sneakers has a lower chance of leading to rupture, but it's not really proven. So as of now, we know that if you're starting to have some symptoms in your tendon, then I would pull back. But to prevent that rupture that's out of the blue, unfortunately, there's nothing that we know of besides stretching that seems to help.
Dr. Rachel, you are terrific. All right? You're terrific. You got to be a part of our World Cup coverage, okay?
I love it.
You in?
I'm there.
I love it. That's great. Doc, thank you so much for your time. Continue doing God's work, really. You guys at Rothman Orthopedics do so much good works. So thank you for keeping us in motion.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me.
What a pleasure. Dr. Rachel, she's fantastic. All right, we got to take care of some business. Then we're going to talk a little baseball.
Okay.
And then you're going to meet Danny D.
Okay.
My man, Danny D. All right. Take it away.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do Parks. You're going to hear him sing.
Oh,
well, you're in for a real treat.
excellent.
Yeah. All right. Everyone knows you need some good flooring. Empire today, they're here to help you out. Just like your favorite team at home needs a good home court field ice advantage, your home needs a floor advantage. Empire today's got flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring every single day. Not like the big box stores. We've all been there. We wander around the aisles trying to find some help. And if you're lucky enough to get some help, people don't know what they're talking about because they might be in flooring today, but maybe electricity yesterday, plumbing the day before, lumber, yes, who knows? So Empire today, they live, they breathe flooring. They'll be with you every step of the way. So it's a whole different ballgame. And check this out. They bring a digital virtual showroom designer with you with their laptop. So you can see what your flooring looks like. You pick out flooring, they take a picture of your room, and you can see what it looks like. And it makes it all easier. And with Empire today, you get clear, upfront, all-inclusive pricing. And you can schedule installation as soon as today. Schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are just better at home. PHLY listeners can receive a $350 discount when using the promo code PHLY. Yes, you heard it right. A $350 discount with the code PHLY. Restrictions do apply. Visit EmpireToday.com/PHLY for full details.
All right. Now let's talk about Parks Casino, Street Road, Bend, Salem. Meg knows about Parks Casino. So you're just there with your parents?
Yeah, my dad and I, we hang out, we play the slots. It's good times.
Fantastic.
It's just a lot of fun.
I love it. I love
penny
it.
slots?
Oh, maybe a little more.
Oh,
than
big
penny slots, but
roller.
not crazy.
Big roller. Nickels?
I
You going
don't think
nickels?
so.
Oh.
I love it. All right. Well, at Parks, just announced Saturday, October 4th, because you know this, they have all kinds of great restaurants there, right? They have all the great acts at the Excite Center. So how about Kansas?
All we are is dust in the wind. I'm not going falsetto today.
Why do you do the other one, cuz?
Carry on your wayward son.
August 23rd, comedian Joey Diaz. Parks Casino having all action, excitement, headline entertainment, 1,000 hot slots, City Art Sportsbook, beautiful poker room, all-weather beer garden, collection of award-winning restaurants. Parks Casino, this is how you win. Tickets on sale as well for these headliners. May 30th, country artist Ashley McBride.
Never wanted to be that girl. Never wanted to hate myself.
June 6th, Taj Mahal, Kev Mo.
Woke up this morning, mama. Had them Statesboro blues. Statesboro, Georgia, that is.
July 3rd, Gary Clark Jr.
Here come on, right up. He come screwing up slowly.
A personal concert in here.
Right?
Thank you.
July 12th, comedian Mark Norman. July 18th, KC the Sunshine Band.
Ooh, do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Woo! Get down tonight.
September 6th, UB40.
Red, red wine.
November 15th, Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
That's right, that Bill Murray and the Blood Brothers. A night of blues and old-time rock and roll. November 22nd, comedian Brian Regan. Don't forget, dinner and drinks before the show. Liberty Law Gastro, Pub, Beer Garden, Parks Grill Steakhouse, Bamboo Noodle House, Chickies and Pete's, ParksCasino.com for all the details. Parks Casino, this is how you win. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. You got to be 21. All right. Now joining us, talk a little Fightins.
Phillies.
All right?
Go Phils.
I know you're a Phillies fan.
Absolutely.
You're a huge 4 for 4, Meg.
5 for 5. Include the Union.
So let me just say this, okay? Before we get to stakes. So I coined 4 for 4.
I know you did.
Right?
I remember.
So, but 4 for 4 is really a euphemism.
For being all in on all.
Right. It doesn't mean
Right.
just 4. People take it literally. I'm
I
like,
know.
no, because it means all the colleges, right?
Right.
And whether our high school kids are playing,
Yeah.
right?
You're just all in.
Obviously, when I did it was before the Union,
Yeah.
or I would have said 5 for 5.
Right.
But 4 for 4
Four
means the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. I gotcha.
You know.
I do.
So I want to make sure you
Of course.
you know.
I do.
All right, Jim Salisbury, the esteemed baseball man, right?
That's right. That's right. Who I had the pleasure, your daughter Mary interned with me
Yes.
several years ago. So
Hi, Meg.
Hi, Jim. Good to see you.
It's my honor. You are, Meg is sort of like the Zach Wheeler, you know, she's an absolute ace.
Oh my God. What an honor.
And
Oh my God. What a compliment.
It is a honor to finally speak with you. I know your work and great respect, Meg.
Thanks. And right back at
Look
you.
at his smile. That's genuine. All right?
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I never get that smile. I never get any. Look, he's always got that sour baseball writer face. Right?
No, Meg
Meg's
is,
on, and look at him. All of a sudden, he's
I'm
Rico
bringing-
Suave,
I
charming.
bring joy.
You
I'm here.
do.
I'm like the ambassador of joy.
You
for-
are.
You're
That's
right.
nice. Yeah.
I can say this without going into a lot. Meg has touched my heart, and I'm very grateful. And it's starting to thunder over here in Westchester, and I have a really scared dog on my lap. So I'm
Yeah,
it's
well,
the
we know
worst.
about the doggies
Yeah.
when it comes to
so
that.
she will not. She just is petrified. So we gotta visit her.
Yeah. Oh, that poor thing. Well, we're going to be quick today. It's a
Yeah,
Friday.
no
We
problem.
got a lot of stuff to do. So I got Danny D coming. We got TV Todd. It's like a whole thing. So, but I had to get our weekly chats. I look forward to them.
Yeah.
What'd you make of this series? What do you make of Nola? Because that's what everybody's talking about. That, like, what are you seeing with his stuff right now?
Well, I'm concerned. He did have those 2 good outings against 2 good offenses, and then, the other day against St. Louis, stuff was down a little bit, and he never has had wipeout stuff to begin with. It's always good stuff. But what separated him was he put that good stuff in good spots when he's really good, down in the zone, moving 2 ways. When he makes a mistake over the plate, he's had a history of getting hurt and getting hit hard. And now that the stuff is down a tick, when you make that mistake over the plate, it's really going to get hurt. And, that 3rd inning, they teed off on him. It almost looked like they kind of knew what was coming. And he's just going to have to be very, very precise with his stuff. Maybe it'll tick up a little bit when we finally get some heat and humidity around here. But I look at Aaron, and I have great respect for Aaron as a man and a competitor and a Philly. He's been a great Philly. He's been here a long time, and he's thrown a lot of pitches and a lot of innings. Anthony, if you look at the numbers since the start of 2017 leads the majors in starts, leads the majors in innings by a good bit, by like 82 innings over the guy from Toronto, Barrios. So, I mean, that's a testament to Aaron's durability, stays healthy, takes the ball, doesn't want to come out of games. But, you know, this piece of hardware, the pitching arm only has so many bullets in it. And I'm not suggesting he's done, but, you know, you lose a bit here and there, a little steam, a little tick here and there. And that's kind of what I'm seeing.
Right.
Does it mean
you can see the velocities down a
the
tick.
finish, yeah.
And listen, that all goes part of changing speeds, right?
That's why you got to pitch. You got to really pitch.
Yes. Yes.
You got to hit spots. You got to change speeds. You got to be at the knees. When you go up top, it's got to be, you know, you can't be down. It's got to be right at the line, right? Where they can't get the bat head to it. I think he's smart enough, tough enough to make the adjustment, but you know, very curious. And you know, the subplot to it, all this is he's on a very long-term contract. You got him for 5 more years. If we're seeing a decline, that's a bit of a worry for the balance of the contract and the length of the contract. But I'm not ready to say he can't, you know, turn this thing around, because I do have a lot of respect for the competitor. This guy cares a lot and he's going to get after it. But it's at the point where you need to see some results, because, you know, if he's had a very difficult start, you could very easily say they're a first place team if he's just been like a 500 pitcher.
Right.
And has done a better job keeping him in games. And you know, it's like everything starts with starting pitching, and it just wasn't there for the team in his last start. He had a 5-1 lead, and you know, you get a 5-1 lead early in that game, you gotta win that ball game, and it didn't happen for them. So I feel for the guy, I really do, because he's been a warrior, and I just worry some of this workload is making him a bit of a different pitcher. And we're going to see if he can adjust it. I'm going to say he can, and we'll go from there.
Listen, you won't be the first guy to have this kind of hiccup happen after all those innings, and it doesn't mean it's a death knell. What it could mean, it could be a precursor to a down season in which you now use the off season to kind of get back to where you once were. I've seen that a million times.
Yeah, it just, my fear is it's, you know, once you really start to lose some of your stuff, some of your velo, when it's marginal to begin with, I'm concerned about getting it back at 32, 33.
Right.
But there, you know, history is loaded with guys that have made that adjustment and, you know, become real. And he's always been a pitcher, never a thrower, but he's just going to have to do more of it. He's going to really have to be at the knees. He's going to have to really have movement at the bottom of the zone. And he just can't miss over the plate. And it seems like this year, every time he walks a batter, he pays for it. It seems like that run always comes around.
I know.
And so you're going to have to limit the walks. It's, you know, you get Zach Wheeler, who is a freak. He's got blowaway stuff. Zach Wheeler can make a mistake with a pitch over the plate and get away with it. Aaron Nola can't, because it's not blowaway stuff.
Let's
I'm
talk about
another. Really
let's move on to another starter who's going tonight, and that's Ranger. All right, how you feel?
He looked
about
like Ranger the other day. He
Right.
looked like Ranger. He looked like Ranger in Cleveland the other day.
He did.
Ball down, well located. You know, what is it? 3 hits, no runs. So really something to build on. Because I'm not. Some people say put Ranger in the bullpen. I think he's a starting pitcher. I think Aaron Nola is a starting pitcher. You need them to start. You need them to be good. And if this team's going to go where it needs to go, and obviously there's 2 sides to the Ranger story. They need him to be good here for the Phillies in 2025, so the Phillies can be good. And he's going to be a free agent. So he's got a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons, a lot of incentive to pitch well, and it can be win-win for this team. So I was very encouraged by what I saw in Cleveland.
I was too. The only thing is, you bring up starting pitching, and I go, yeah, but like in the rotation, I need Wheeler. You mentioned Nola because you can only throw in the rotation. Luzardo, Sanchez, like they're to me starters. You got Painter coming. I mean, at some point, he has to be the guy. We saw him come out of the pen before. I know he wants to be a starter, but we saw him being a weapon out of the pen in the playoffs a couple years ago. At what point do you go, that's kind of where I need him to be?
I'm not going there at any time in the near future. For me, he's a starter. Now, if October comes and, you can get by in October with no more than 4, often with 3 starters.
Yeah.
So to me, if you have to shorten this thing up, it's really going to be merit-based. Now, I think there is a situation where you could get very creative if they're all pitching well and they're all healthy. And, oh, by the way, if Painter's a factor and you decide, you know what, we want to give him some 5-inning starts in the playoffs, 6-inning starts in the playoffs. He's part of our playoff rotation. Christopher Sanchez, if they're all pitching well, if Wheeler, Luzardo, if Nola gets on board, if Ranger's pitching like Ranger, if you have depth and effectiveness in your rotation, now you have multiples and you can't fit them all in the rotation. I think Christopher Sanchez could be a very intriguing guy down there just because of the thunder he brings, the explosiveness he brings. I think he could really demoralize opposing lineups coming out of the bullpen. You go to Christopher and you say, hey, you have a chance to impact every game we play in October, not just one game a series, every game. Now, some people are not going to want that. They're going to say, Christopher Sanchez is a starter. I want him out there 7+ innings, demoralizing opponents. And that's a very valid argument. But I'm saying if the rest of your rotation, you feel comfortable with them, feel confident about them, and they think they all can shine for you and keep you in games in October, and you're kind of questioning how to shorten this thing up, he might really make you a better
So it sounds
team.
like you would go Ranger or you would go Sanchez over Ranger in the bullpen.
Because I think Ranger's a starting pitcher. I think he's a starting pitcher.
Even though we already saw him do it out of the pen.
I saw him do it 1 year. I saw him be very, very good out of the bullpen 1 year when he was sort of trying to find himself as a big leaguer and they weren't sure where he slotted in. He went out there and gave them some good innings in long relief. He actually closed, but he's not a classic blow-away closer.
Of course.
But he's a pitcher, and I would opt for the pitcher, which you know what I'm saying, the quote-unquote pitcher.
Yeah,
I would opt for that guy in the rotation.
You want the big arm. You want the big arm in the bullpen.
I want the explosiveness. Now, Christopher Sanchez, if he's out there, and this, I acknowledge this might be a very unpopular idea.
Right.
But all of a sudden, you got that thunder out there. He can shorten his repertoire to 2 pitches with the hard fastball and the great changeup, and maybe mix in that slider and have a chance to impact every game.
Yeah.
To me, it's something that, as I would think, a group of baseball people would have a lot of fun kicking that idea around. But like I said, it's all incumbent on Nola pitching well, because Nola, if we see the Nola now,
he can't pitch in the playoffs. Right.
Exactly. He's not going to, now you're shortening your rotation by a guy who you don't feel comfortable with. And Christopher Sanchez has to stay there. So I'm just throwing out ideas.
It's a great idea. Listen, I completely agree. He's got a big arm. I completely get it. All right. Let me ask you this. With this weekend, position players, who's got your eye in this weekend series against the Pirates?
Well, I want to see Skeens on the opposing side Sunday. But on I want to see when Bryce Harper and Alec Bohm start giving me some extra base hits.
Yeah.
Because I know it's coming.
Right.
I know Bryce is going to go crazy here at some point.
It feels like it. Yeah.
It sure does. And we're all waiting for it. Turner has swung it well, and Stott has swung it well. But, I guess if you wanted me to pinpoint a position guy, you're always watching for Bryce to go crazy. And I just feel like it's coming.
Yeah. Hit the 1 home run.
It's totally coming.
Well, yeah.
It's the thing I don't worry about. Like all the debate of like, are you worried? Are you worried about
Bryce?
No worries.
Yeah, I don't.
We are in overtime, by the way, Jules.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We are no apologies. It's all family. We are in overtime. That's right, overtime.
Next goal wins.
We're often in overtime here on this show. We go long ways. Yeah, no, I think your point about Bryce is spot on. Spot on.
Yeah. I look at his batting average against fastballs. It's down. I just think sometimes when Bryce and all hitters get in a little bit of a rut, they all do. It's a long season. I think when he gets in a rut, he tries so hard to get out of it, and now things get out of whack. You can almost see his feet moving. When his feet are moving, his head moves, and your head moves, your eyes move, and you don't square it up. When he is going good, he is balanced and smooth through the ball, and it just comes firing off his bat. And, I know how much he wants to shine for the Phillies, especially loves to shine at home when you got 40,000 people going nuts. And I think he puts some pressure on himself to when he's in a bit of a rut. So, kind of a good game or two, I think would relax him and get him out of it. And then once he gets hot, man, he can carry you for a month or two. We saw it last year's Player of the Month in May and June last year.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. I don't know. Stott has made the lineup so much better, right? Like, and I give Jimmy credit. Jimmy thought he would be a really good leadoff guy, and him established that now as the leadoff guy. I don't know. I just think it just makes the lineup so much better.
Mm-hmm. Such an important position, and honestly, they had a good leadoff guy the last 3 years. Kyle Schwarber did a really good job. Very unorthodox, but the results were very good. I mean, you hit a home run again last year. 15 leadoff home runs, and they won 13 of those games. It's a stun gun to the opposing team, but it's unorthodox. He doesn't move well on the bases, and you want that bat in the middle, clearing the bases for you. He's done a great job doing that. But, as far as Stott being a leadoff man, I think everybody thought he could be a leadoff man. He was a good leadoff man at UNLV.
Yes.
He's always had a very good idea of the strike zone, even as an amateur.
Great at bats. We saw
Matt
that.
Klentak, Matt Klentak drafted him and his crew, and they always, in their drafts, they prioritized knowledge of the strike zone, controlling the strike zone. That's why they drafted Alec Boehm. That's why they drafted Bryson Stott. And so Stott has always had good knowledge of strike zone, moves well, he's got good feet. You always thought he could lead off. And honestly, Rob Thompson, when Stott was a rookie in 2022, having a good year, playing shortstop, most demanding position on the field for a World Series team, Rob Thompson used to always say, because they batted him down on the order. Occasionally, I think they batted him as high as fifth. But Rob Thompson used to say, this kid can lead off someday. He moves well, and he really knows the strike zone. He grinds at bats. All the things you're looking at for a leadoff man. So, that's always been in the back of your mind that the manager thinks this kid could be a leadoff guy. That's why I was a little surprised this winter when Thompson kind of eliminated him from contention for that job in spring training. It was either going to be Schwarber or Trey Turner. They were really angling toward Turner. They thought if they could get him in the leadoff hole where he's been before in his career, it would spur him to think like a leadoff man and add selectivity and reduce some of the chase in his at-bats. So that was kind of the method to their madness there. But, they used Schwarber a little bit, but, they against the right-hander, they like a left-hander up there, and they like Schwarber in the middle, protecting Harper. Stott gets a shot at a role that they've always kind of envisioned him and has some success, and it really has helped the team. They've been a much better team since he kind of went there. I mean, they were 13-13, and I think now they're, 12-5 since then? So, they've done okay.
Yeah. Jimmy, great stuff, buddy. Looking forward to Sunday. Skeets.
I know.
Skeets is not he's not as dominant as he was last year. His stuff doesn't look the same.
I'll take him.
Well, okay, duh. Yeah, I get it. But you get my point. He's not the same.
But it's there. I think. I don't know. If he's not the same, hope he doesn't become.
I'm not criticizing him. I'm just saying.
I know
he's not as dominant. Last year, he was unhittable. I mean, he's not as dominant as he was last year.
Well, for the Pirates' sake, he needs to get it back. But you hope he doesn't get it back till he leaves Philadelphia.
Right. With you. Jimmy, I'm so glad you got to meet.
Yeah, so great to see Meg.
I know. Say hi to Mary.
I sure will.
All
and
right.
say goodbye. Sorry for celebrity guest appearance by my
how cute.
My long-haired,
awesome. What's his
long-haired
name?
This is she. Her name is Willow, but she goes by Willie.
Hi, Willie. Willie. Look how
she
cute.
hates the Thunder.
She's awesome, Willie.
She wanted to make an appearance.
She's adorable. So I'll go take care of Willie,
All right.
Jimmy.
Great speaking with you guys. Meg, hope to catch you down the road.
All right, sounds good. Look forward to it.
Thank you for everything.
You bet. Talk to you.
See ya.
It's not. How about Jim? All of a sudden, Jim lights up, smiling.
Oh, he's got
He's
his,
in
Dod-
Meg.
he's got his Dodger blue.
Oh, wait. We have him all right. He's like, I go, Jim Stakes. And he goes, yeah. Right? You're here. Oh, Meg. All of a sudden, he's floating.
I just bring light.
You
joy.
do. You're
Light joy,
amazing.
Anthony.
All right, Danny D, get in here. BG, take a step.
Yeah.
All right? Danny D, come here, man. It's time now for Making Varsity. That's right. You got your own name now for your segment.
Oh, wow. What do we got
It's
here?
called Making Varsity.
Let's go.
And brought to us by Cherry Hill Jeep.
Wow.
That's right. Our good friend Charlie Folk.
Legend. Big chow.
Right? Big Child the
Great
Legend.
guy.
All
Great
right?
guy.
Making Varsity. This is where we dive into youth sports, high school sports, and all the stuff that we love, highlighting the kids of the Delaware Valley with the great Danny D, the AD. Meet Meg.
Nice
All
to meet
right.
you.
Very nice to
Pleasure.
meet you.
All right. Meg Meg.
Scarves look great, guys. You guys look.
Here.
You guys look awesome.
I have one at
Oh,
home, so there you go.
Look at this.
So,
Look at that.
so Meg
Yes.
Kane, all right,
Yep.
is the host city executive CEO.
Love
All
it.
right. World Cup Philly in charge of the whole thing, bringing the World Cup to Philadelphia next summer. So we're kicking this off.
Oh, wow.
So Meg's going to be a big part of this whole thing.
That's a very
Like
exciting.
with the show, we're going to be
That's so
every
exciting.
week. We're going to highlight this stuff.
That's amazing.
All right,
Yep.
because this is such a cool thing,
It's so
man.
cool.
I mean,
I know.
this
It's
is
awesome.
all my buddies. This is like bucket list for all of them, man. It's
Yeah,
just, it's
right,
so
right.
cool
Bucket list.
to be here, to have the World Cup in Philadelphia. I mean, that doesn't happen in a lot of lifetimes, right? So this is like super, super special. So it's exciting for, sports fans, soccer fans, but it's really big for the city. So I'm excited about it.
It is now. We're going to enlist you, right,
All right, let's
to
go.
help with the volunteers too, like to help
Done.
the whole thing.
I got plenty of
He
kids.
knows everybody.
I got
He's
plenty
got
of
all the
kids.
Well,
kids.
you knew everybody.
What?
Well,
Between the
okay.
two of us, we know
You
everybody.
covered it all.
Yeah, we
Okay.
got it covered.
Got it. You
We
got it
got it
covered.
covered.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right?
Yeah,
we got
absolutely.
like
We'll
we
have
got.
plenty of youth volunteers. I mean,
Yeah, I
we
mean,
got
there's a
plenty
lot of
us.
opportunity. I mean, around youth sports. I mean, for us, that's like such a big part of it.
Oh, for
growing the
sure.
game is like a core component of like the legacy part of it.
No, that's gonna
right.
be-
That's right.
That's what we have to do.
That's going to be really awesome.
And take a moment now to talk about high school soccer and the interesting thing because of the way the sport is with the club and how from the high school level
Yeah.
and some of the programs here.
It's huge in Philadelphia. It's growing. Soccer, girls soccer, boys soccer. It's huge. In the high school ranks, it's huge. We have kids now with the academies. It's kind of changing, right? So kids are going to the academies out of high school. So they'll still go to like a local high school, a St. Joe's Prep, Penn Charter. They'll still go to these schools, but they'll play for the academies. And sometimes they get waivers where they can play for both. So it's a balancing act, but it's just exploding. So there's so many different avenues that they can go through. So you can play in your league, you can play club, but then you can play in the academies. And there's just so many different avenues these kids are going to get recruited to that next level and potentially play professional soccer, which is a lot of their goals. But yeah, it's booming. The girls' league is really strong. Our boys' league, there's a lot of Division I recruits coming out of Philadelphia every year. The club teams are really strong. So it's taken over. I mean, and the excitement around the World Cup is it's contagious.
Well, and that's the thing. And this is what part of this discussion I love. And it's one of the reasons why we deserve to have the World Cup in Philadelphia. We talked at the beginning of the broadcast about our love of sports. And it's deep. Like we're raising generations of just sports crazed kids and great athletes, right? Like if you look at New York is the de facto mecca of the United States. Washington, D.C. is the, capital of the country, right? Political nature of the country. We've always been lost in between the two. And what do we export? LA exports entertainment, right? Like all that stuff. Well, our niche is sports.
Yeah.
We're the greatest sports city in the country.
I agree with that 100%. I mean, that's what we talked to when FIFA was here. I mean, that's what we talked about.
Yeah, that's part of the
Right.
pitch for sure.
Yeah, it's absolutely part of the
passion.
pitch.
There's
Passion.
love.
Yeah.
There's grit. There's dedication, and it starts at a young age. I mean, these youth programs are busting at the seams, and it's really cool to, have them and, in their childhood to see something like this coming. This is just going to elevate the sport of soccer across our city. I mean, it's going to bring so many more kids, and there's so many kids that still probably don't try it, right? Because they're doing something else, and sports are getting, where you're training for one sport, So, but I think this excitement will push even more kids into soccer, and it will grow the sport even bigger. And kids that may have maybe missed a boat are going to get involved in it because it's going to be at the forefront, and it's going to be everywhere. I mean, it's going to be all over the world.
One of the things, and this kind of taps into you too, with the youth piece of it, is the organization is going to build pitches throughout the city, right?
Yes. So, yep, throughout the city and the Commonwealth.
Right.
Go across the state. So legacy is a really big part of FIFA World Cup and of what a host city has to think about and deliver. And so we've looked at it in a couple of different ways. And actually, go back to '94 when the U.S. hosted. There are two major things that came out of that. There was a 30% jump in youth soccer involvement coming right out of the tournament in '94. So that was the first big sort of leap for the sport. But then Major League Soccer, MLS, was the legacy of hosting the World Cup in '94.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
it
it makes
from,
sense. Yeah.
Right. So when you see that first youth group, that really skyrocketed, and then you've got MLS. So now you think of that in 2026 and what that can mean. What we're looking at, we don't need another professional sport league, right? We have that, right? And you're seeing the expansive growth of MLS and the really explosion of it. The academy model that the union have really pioneered and what that's happening all across the country. But from that legacy component is, how do we get more kids involved in soccer? And how do we help that infrastructure? And, when I started this back in 2019, I was like, we're just going to build pitches. We're going to build gorgeous pitches. And somebody's like, that is a $30 million endeavor. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, we're going to have to think about that in a different way. But when you do talk to the soccer community, especially across Philadelphia, across the region, yes, mini pitches are great, and it's a great conversion method. It's a great way for kids to get an entry into it. But we also know from the work that we're doing with the local soccer community and organizations, as well as U.S. Soccer Foundation, right? We don't have enough coaches.
Yeah.
Oh,
referees,
wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can build all these amazing.
Wow. I hadn't even thought about that.
But if you don't have the programmatic infrastructure, if I've got 12 kids and I don't have a coach for
especially
that.
today, where everything is scheduled, it's different, when I'm growing up, and it's you just, whatever sport was we were playing, you played it, but you also played with your friends, right? We didn't have travel teams. We had, our districts was our big deal, right? Or we had your football, but we didn't stop playing football after Saturday morning. You played all the time in the streets. They don't do that.
No, it's everything's scheduled and much more organized. And so, one, how do you have that type of, if you will, soft infrastructure that's needed to make the game grow? And then how do you help, knowing that soccer is such a great conduit for kids, how do you help more kids to get into that and get them the access to it, because it can be cost prohibitive? And so that's a lot of the work that we're trying to do.
For sure. And that's going to, again, help it grow. And that's, being in a city, right? That's difficult, right? The pitches is always something, but having the different lower levels and having this infrastructure behind is really going to help, I think, elevate the sport locally. I mean, so the union, at our time at the prep, we partner with Swag Soccer, which is the inner city, trying to get inner city kids to play soccer. So it branches off from the Union Academy, and they put a lot of money behind it to get coaches and instructors. So they do youth stuff at St. Joe's Prep in our turf, in our 30-yard turf, throughout the winter when they can be inside. So we partner with the Swag soccer program, which is great. And again, initiatives like that will grow and benefit from this immensely, and it will take it to another level. So.
And there's
really
so many
excited.
great programs, right?
So many
I mean,
programs.
you've got Starfinder, you've got Safe Hub, right? You've got Swag, Love Football, and then all under the auspices of Eastern Pennsylvania Youth Soccer, which is the third largest state association in the country.
Wow, is it really?
Just for Eastern.
That's
Eastern
incredible.
Pennsylvania.
It's huge. Soccer is huge in the state of PA. And even in the city, Department of Rec still hanging strong. They still do a decent job.
Well,
with
his
their
father
leagues.
ran it.
Yeah, my dad was Parks and Rec for a long
I was
time.
gonna say when he told me your last name, I was like Mike. Like,
Yeah.
Mike signed the contract for FIFA World Cup, so you can tell. No,
There you
His
go.
father's
That's right.
man.
Yeah,
He's
so-
like the
I know.
legend. His
He's a
father's a legend.
Dad's a legend.
He's like the
Yeah,
Godfather.
definitely.
That.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, so Department of Rec, and then you have the outer county leagues, and it's just, again, it's really booming. But this is going to really take it to another level, and it's a great sport. And it gets overlooked sometimes because football and basketball, baseball, they're the big sexy names and more polarizing sports. But soccer is a phenomenal sport, and it's international. It's the biggest sport in the world, right? But
Right.
we don't always see it to that level because professional football, baseball, they kind of rise in this area. But I think this event and the work that she's doing here and being in Philadelphia is going to have a massive impact.
I think you're also starting to see like for kids, right? Like Messi coming to the MLS is probably the ultimate game changer in so many ways, because like what made it feel much more real to me about like soccer and like the penetration into pop culture was the Super Bowl ads and seeing Messi in Super Bowl
So cool.
ads,
Yes.
right? Like,
So cool.
because in that moment I was like, I can't remember another time where there was a soccer star and he was in like 3 of them. He was like,
They're the most popular guys in the world. If you look at their
Right.
following, the
Like,
world, the most
yeah.
popular guys in the world.
Yeah.
Messi, Ronaldo,
their
massive.
followings are like Taylor Swift
Yes.
Yeah.
and Messi
Yes.
and Ronaldo.
Right.
Right.
Crazy.
People don't realize we think, oh, well, because, it's just how we're wired. Like Brady's the GOAT,
Yeah.
right? Like Tom Brady's
these guys-
is minuscule compared to
Not
these
even
global stars. It's truly amazing. The other thing that I think impacted it and really helped raise the profile was a TV show. And I tell you, it's amazing that if you have Ted Lasso and what Ted Lasso did, first of all, the show was brilliant and beautiful. The messaging was beautiful. But I think between that and the FIFA video game, it exploded. It really pushed it. Like it was there, but then it got that tidal wave behind it.
Yeah, I think Ted Lasso was like it broke through.
It
just broke through. I mean,
It's one of
his
my
character.
favorite shows. It's
I mean, the
amazing.
characters were rich and again, like a kind like authentic, and it was fun and funny. But you got the importance of right, and you got the importance of the sport. And we talked a little bit about it earlier in the show that the other show is Welcome to Wrexham.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Yes.
that when you buy in, because like to me that, and I think maybe that's that Philadelphian part of me. It's like buying into the underdog.
Underdog.
Ah,
And
it's
they're
the
rising.
greatest.
They
Right?
keep
They keep
getting promotion.
rising.
They keep getting promotion.
Right. Like
keep-
they make it to Premier League.
it's going to be
Like
crazy.
it's going to be incredible.
I know.
Like
I know. It's
what
a
a
good
story.
It's an amazing story.
I mean, I was like, that's
and
it.
Rob, I mean, it's one of our own.
St. Joe's Prep alum.
St. Joe's
You know?
St.
That's
Joe's
right.
Prep alum.
Oh my God, that's
He is a
right.
prep
Robbie
guy.
is
Yeah.
a
He's a
prep
prep
guy.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My
How,
brother's
Passionate
a
about the
prep
city.
guy.
Loves it.
you know,
Yeah.
like how cool is that?
Yeah. So cool.
It's
So
such a
cool.
great thing. It's a wonderful story. I mean, I have enjoyed you so much.
Oh, this
you
is so fun.
are awesome. Real quick, Danny, what you had something for me.
About what were we talking about?
It was the football.
Oh yeah. So we had a showcase. We had our
Because Meg's a
football-
huge football fan.
So
too.
for the prep, we had our college showcase a couple weeks ago, May 7th, and it was great. We had a great turnout. We had teams from all over the country, from like Bucknell's and Navy's and Fordham to Miami's, Penn State's, Michigan's, Ohio State.
Cool.
And it
all
really,
the top coaches.
all
That
the
Ryan
top
Day is
coaches.
here,
we had
right?
all the
Like,
big time coaches.
and
And it went really well. Our kids did great. We kind of closed it to the public, and our kids did a phenomenal job. A lot of offers came out of it. Kids
right.
getting offers from Miami and Anthony's guys over at Nebraska.
Yeah.
They started throwing some offers around. West Virginia, Virginia Tech, Ohio State. Chet Harrison just got Ohio State offers. So Marvin's younger brother this week kind of exploded. He's a freshman.
Wow.
But he got Ohio State, Oregon, all the big dogs, Penn State. So,
yeah, they're all coming.
so
awesome.
it was a really, really cool event. Our coaches did a great job with it. And yeah, I mean, it's special to have all these guys come into the city for a couple of days. And I'm sure other schools do showcases, so I'm sure they got to bounce around.
St. Augustine had one. In fact, the other day, earlier this week.
Yeah.
So a lot of the guys were down
Yeah, so
there.
they kind of invade Philadelphia for a few
Yeah.
weeks where these all
Yeah.
different
Bounce
schools have.
around.
Yeah, because I know
Nice.
Roman and LaSalle were a couple days after the preps.
Yeah.
And in St.
It's
Augustine.
such a cool thing.
Yeah.
You know?
No, so cool. And it's great for the kids to get exposure. And again, it's kind of how the game evolved. Like we do like a mini combine for high
Right.
school kids,
That's
right?
so cool.
We do times, right? We're doing 40-yard dashes. We're putting them through shuttle drills. We're watching them throw. And so it's really cool for our kids.
Did
to do.
Charlie throw?
You guys have to do
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, you guys have to set up there and do it like NFL Network style.
I know.
So I
We
told
talked
him.
about it.
Right,
We
that-
talked
I was
about
gonna
it.
say,
We're going to get a lot.
Get Colleen Wolf back and do like a
Yes. We in fact we talked about this. In fact we'll probably do it next year for sure. We'll do it. We got some video we're actually
Yeah,
gonna play
for the Yo Kid stuff.
Yeah.
Will be a nice.
because we're starting
That's cool.
a youth sports platform.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
That's great.
Danny and I. Yeah, we
Cool.
have a thing called Yo Kid Sports.
Yeah, it's going to be
And
great.
It's all about
Love
youth
it.
sports because of parents, and I have two boys,
Yeah.
12 and 15, and I've been around sports my whole life. I didn't know that's this world.
It's a world. It is.
So
a
we're just going to try to put as
world.
much content and
Yeah.
information and like
Totally.
informative stuff
Right?
out there to try to help people navigate these waters because it's changing every day.
Absolutely.
So me working in high school athletics, kind of seeing the youth stuff, Anthony having kids in it. So we'll have different stories and be able to touch on a bunch of different ways. So
Super cool.
it's going to be super informative for.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the
for
website will be up
parents.
soon. YoKidSports.com's coming, and then there'll be a YouTube channel. A couple people want to do shows, so we got all
great.
kinds of stuff with
And
it.
lastly, yesterday, girls flag football championship
Oh, get
for
out!
our league. The sport is blown up.
Yeah.
It's huge. And LC Lansdale Catholic took down Archbishop Wood
Woo.
in a big game. So
Oh, that's fantastic.
yeah, they won 33-16, but big crowd. It was cool.
Oh, great!
yeah, it was
I
awesome.
love
It
to
was
see
intense.
that.
But
Very
yeah,
cool.
so girls flag football champs, Lansdale Catholic. So shout out to Lansdale. I don't know.
Oh,
Big win.
congratulations!
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
For sure.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
All right, so Meg,
Yes.
tell us to run down the schedule of kind of what it looks like this summer.
Okay.
Right, like so people can understand. And we're going to be doing, just so everybody knows, every Friday we're going to have a different guest on about the World Cup 2026, what it's going to entail. We're going to do a whole countdown. So from now until it happens, every Friday there's going to be a countdown to the World Cup. We're really looking forward to it. And then it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as we know more stuff. So why don't you let us in on the schedule?
Sure. So we are gearing up for our 1 year out, which is
Let's go.
going to be June 11th, which is great. We're going to be doing some community engagement events through Big Brothers Big Sisters on some youth activation for soccer. We will be unveiling something, so stay tuned for that. Very exciting. We are also going to be doing an event at the Philadelphia Union on June 14th, which is our 1 year out to the first match in Philly. So we'll be celebrating down at Union
That's
Yards
gonna be fun,
pregame
yeah,
on that Saturday,
yeah.
which is great. And we have Club World Cup coming to Philadelphia as well. So if you want to get a taste of what big
And that's
big
going to be a
soccer,
good time.
it's a good time too.
Yeah.
So we don't really work with Club World Cup as the host committee, but certainly like encouraging everyone. We got some great teams: Real Madrid, Juventus, Chelsea, Man City, all
That's
playing in
awesome.
Philadelphia, right, in June and July. So some really cool stuff there. And there's just going to be a cadence of like exciting announcements, countdowns. I mean, there's stuff that FIFA will drive, the ball reveal. What will it look like, right? What's the mascot? Because, we love a mascot. But I think as we get closer, the next bigger, after 1 year out, we're driving toward that draw.
I love
and
the
then,
build-up.
Yeah,
Love
the build up
it.
is going to be great. And then the draw is going to be in December. We should do like a,
Oh,
I mean, we're going
to have a big party.
I love it.
All
Yeah.
right, like
Yeah.
we'll go live
Yeah.
and have this big
It'll be amazing.
watch party. We'll
Yeah.
we'll do it from wherever. We'll
Right.
find a good venue
Yeah,
for
it'll
it.
be awesome.
We'll invite many people who
Yes.
can.
And have
Blow
a
it
party.
up.
We
Love
need
it.
the U.S. to avoid the group of death they usually call
I
it.
know, right?
We need to make sure they avoid that.
Let's hope. I was gonna say everybody is like,
It's like the lottery, and it's like
That's right.
it's like the ball drop.
That's
man.
it.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's it.
It's like okay, what's coming out? Like everybody
That's
like
right.
pulls it up,
That's
and you
right.
hope for the best. So there's a lot of cool stuff, and then obviously like there's just gonna be things happening all the time. We're excited. We want everybody. I think for us, we're most excited about doing like once we know the countries that are coming. Like we want to have everybody kind of pick their team, like right, like be part of their own be part of that fandom.
That's
So
be
like,
great.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
So,
it's going to be
a lot of great stuff
incredible.
coming up.
That's really cool.
Isn't it be fun? So stick with us, okay? Because we'll be the hub and get you out all the information, do all kinds of special shows, events with Meg and her great team. So, Meg, you are the greatest.
Oh, thank
all
you.
right, you're
I
awesome.
want to come and watch an Eagles game with you guys.
You're right. Come
go.
on, we got to do it. All right, forget about it. Danny D, making varsity. You like your name?
Love it. Love
All
it.
right.
Thank you to Charlie and Jeep, Cherry Hill Jeep, right?
That's right.
Let's
And
go,
Dante
man.
and Cherry Hill Jeep.
Let's
Go see
go.
Dante. $1,000 off the trade-in.
Wow.
All right.
Go get
Extra 1,000, mind you.
Wow.
That's
all
on
right.
top of what they always give you.
Let's go
Give
see
them an extra 1,000.
They're the best. They
All
take
right?
care of you over there. They're awesome.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks so
you.
much.
You guys are awesome. All right, Meg,
Great.
you are a rock star. Danny, all right.
Love you, brother.
All right, love you, brother. All right, we're going to come back, and VG will rejoin us along with our man, TV Todd. That's right, Todd Schill, our resident, incredible TV man, movie man, will be joining us next to go over it. So just hang tight for 1 second. All right. Oh, I'm on. Jules, I'm doing the whole thing. Text me. I'm going like this. Text me. I'll call you. All right. Megan, great to see you, Meg. Yes, we are. Come on, Jules. I thought you were going to give me the transition video. Oh, man. Jules hanging me out.
One of those days, man. Everyone, it's
Jules
Friday,
hanging me
baby.
out. It's all right. She's like, where at?
She's all geeked up. It's rivalry weekend. I just found out on the MLB. Did you know this?
Really? No.
Yeah, they're
Phillies and
promoting
Pirates?
this as rivalry weekend.
Not the Mets, it's the Pirates?
No.
Oh, Mets, Yankees. Oh, right. Because you know why? Because it's all the teams. So Cubs, White Sox.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes sense. Listen, PA.
Braves, Red Sox.
Yeah, it's a
Tigers,
stretch.
Blue Jays.
I mean, you know what it is. It's Yankees and Mets.
Yeah.
And Angels and Dodgers.
Mariners, Padres.
Yeah, well, they got nothing. You know how that is. They
Yeah.
have to. It's
Well,
going to be a
trying
half fugazi.
Yeah.
All right, but let's go. We go from. We got to get our man. We got him. Oh my God!
Act like a man.
You can't handle the truth.
Do. It's time for TV Todd. Bam.
We say Todd. I don't hear you.
For the people in the back.
We don't hear you.
Hello.
Unmute.
Now you hear
Hey!
me. I mean, I was on hold till Saturday morning, so I just figured I'd just do other things.
I'm late for a concert tonight.
Wait. Hey, by the way, it's your fault. You know why, Todd? Because you introduced us to this incredible organization.
Yeah.
Megan is tremendous, just tremendous. And Tom was the
was
one
great.
who said, you got to go talk to Anthony.
That's what he does. He's a mover, a maker. He puts deals together. That's what Todd does.
I've enlisted you, by the way, because Hershey's going to be a big part of this thing. There's going to be a part. So you're going to be the ambassador for Hershey.
Oh, I love that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Meg was great today.
Meg's awesome, right? I mean,
Yeah,
seriously.
she can.
Vinci got Wally pipped. He's lucky she's got another gig. No, we love each other.
Hey, why we got Hockey Todd here? Have you see the updates on this trial with the hockey players?
No, I haven't.
So they dismissed the jury. One of the jurors felt that that lawyers were being disrespectful to her in their court demeanor. So the judge has discharged the jury and will decide the case on her own. Justice Maria Caraccia discharged the jury in the trial of the 5 former members of Canada's USA World Junior Hockey Team. She thanked them and dismissed them. The trial will now continue by judge alone.
I have never heard anything like you.
You're an attorney.
The right,
Yeah.
the right to a trial by jury is ingrained. I mean, obviously in our laws. I don't understand Canada legal procedure, but that's insane.
Alex
insane.
Alex Fermenton's lawyers, Daniel Brown and Hillary Dudding, wrote that, quote, a juror came to somehow believe that our courtroom demeanor was disrespectful to her. This was an unfortunate misinterpretation. No defense counsel would risk alienating a juror, and nothing could be further from the truth. So, I mean, she thought they were making fun of her.
Well, you know what that means? What that means to me is that's just going to create major appellate issues. So at the end of the day, no matter what happens, whoever loses this is going to appeal on procedural grounds that somehow that was inappropriate and they should have continued a jury or dismissed the jury, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That this thing is going to go back to this thing's going to keep going.
Wild.
Wow.
Wow, that's wild. That's a crazy story.
Yeah, VG, when you said let's talk hockey, I thought we were going to get into a little talking.
Well, let's get into talking. I was going to bring it up there. Dude, hockey.
Yeah, dude, listen. First of all, I loved your show yesterday with Billy Matz, man. You two going at it. I love Billy. I love him. I do. I think he's fantastic. But I got to tell you, I've been thinking about this overnight because of you two discussing it. I got to say, the one thing that sticks in my craw a little bit about the narrative about Tocchet being, ex-Flyer, that's why he was picked.
Right.
The one thing that bothers me is sort of an assumption that Danny and Jonesy didn't do deep dive homework analysis.
I said that to Billy. Of course they did their due diligence.
Of course they did. And here's the best part. I only caught a little bit of Tocchet, his presser, because I was watching you, but I'm going to go back to it. But here's the key thing he said to me, which, of course, people speculated. Here's the key thing. Danny Briere said that Tocchet is going to inevitably attract free agents here.
Yep.
Big names here. That's why they got this guy.
Yeah, it was funny. I was arguing with Sealski, my boy Mike, right? Because Mike was like, I'm going to go toe-to-toe because he's little Hackstall. He was like, Hackstall was a great coach. Look what he did here.
Hackstall.
Yeah, he's like, he had a bad team, and he still made the playoffs 1 year, and he, forget about you're looking at the personality too much, blah, 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 blah. What player was coming for Dave Hackstall?
Yes.
All right? Unlike Tocchet.
Yeah, I'm seeing already. Briere's saying they're already fielding calls from agents of players who want to come play for him. Yeah.
Exactly. Because here's the thing. It is fair. Like, Bill, I'll give Bill, like, it is fair for people to say at first, well, ex-Flyer.
It's
but
a lazy narrative. At
the end of the day, look, we are all in the enviable position of not having to make those decisions, right? So we can criticize them, pro, con, whatever, and debate them forever. But come on, Danny and Jonesy, this is their job. Do you think they just said, oh, Tocchet's a great dude, like we drank beers with him one time, let's have him come back to the team?
Right.
That's not what this is.
Right.
Come on.
Right. Well said, TV Todd.
But listen, the stage that the Flyers are in right now, attracting high-level talent, keeping them here, not burning them out like torts, is probably one of the key components to our next coach.
Yes, exactly. Now that you got a kid like Meetskov, you got all these young kids, you need a coach that can relate to them.
Yes.
And that people want to play, the Quinn Hughes of the world, the Sid Crosbys of the world.
Let's make a place where people want to come to the arena and actually play.
Billy's argument was, well, look what happened in Vancouver. Well, I don't know any coach that could fight against the two superstars hating each other. Like, I don't know what you could do to mend those fences.
Yeah, it's tough. It's always circumstantial.
Ultimately,
coaches,
Shaq
right?
went to Orlando.
Yeah. It's always circumstantial with coaches. Speaking of Hershey, Bruce Boudreau lives here. And so he comes to the game sometimes. And I've chatted with him over the years. I mean, is that guy not a good coach? Is he not a good coach? He's had some pretty awful squads.
Exactly. No, you're spot on. Spot on. All right, my
Anyway,
brother.
I'm excited. I'm very excited for it. I really am.
Hey, let's go to your wheelhouse for a second. Have you started Mobland yet?
No, I haven't.
Damn, he says that with such disregard almost.
Dude, no. He's doing this for a reason because he has to binge. He's a binge head. He's got to binge.
I am.
This thing, cause it's ridiculous. It got even crazier. It's tremendous. Best TV show I've seen in a long time.
Where are we? Got an episode? We got an episode or two left?
I got one left.
All right. I'm in after that.
All right. It's the best one since what was the last? I'm trying to think of the last great show I watched. It's the best one since then.
You loved Gangs of London. You loved Gangs of London.
Yeah, it's better than Gangs of London.
Oh, high bar, man.
Oh,
high bar.
No, you know why? I like Gangs of London a lot. My wife didn't. My wife got tired of it. And so that kind of hurt my momentum. But it's better. I think Gangs of London was acted really well. This is even better.
Yeah.
Oh, the acting's tremendous. It really. The cast is outrageous, and they're all great.
Yeah, I'm excited. I remember I was telling you when I saw you Monday that Tom Hardy came out and said he is physically injured and ill from all this work he's been doing. He's going to have surgeries. He's exhausted. I mean, that dude is the hardest working person in showbiz right now.
He is. He's unbelievable. He's great. He's just absolutely great. All right, so take us into this weekend. What are we watching?
Well, listen, we're in a weird period right now. I always feel like the end of May always is a bit of a slow period in terms of rolling out shows. The two new shows that are rolling out this week, sort of interesting. Well, I haven't watched either of them yet because they just dropped. The first one is a show called Duster, and it's on Max, and it is a J.J. Abrams helmed show. And this is where it gets me a little bit, hooks me. It's set in the 70s, the social, cultural, political upheaval of 70s America. And it's about a Arizona drugs smuggling syndicate and the FBI kind of trying to take them down by infiltrating them with getting in with one of the getaway drivers. So it's a 70s themed kind of gangster show. I don't know that J.J. Abrams has ever done anything like this. But it's a Max series that just started. I'm going to have to check it out.
Who's in it?
Josh Holloway is in it. I'm not sure who else is in it, but it looks decent. I watched the trailer and I watched the first couple of minutes of the first episode where they're interrogating an FBI agent. It could be interesting. I don't know. It's one of these shows.
I like the 70s, so I like that period for content. It sounds interesting. Yeah, Arizona, though. I don't know if I'm into the Arizona thing.
Yeah, like the first scene I see, there's like a fast food nachos place or something. I don't know. It could be Tarantino like, and it could fall flat. I don't know, but Max is giving it quite a push this week. So that's called Duster, and you guys have probably heard the news that Max backtracked. HBO. And now, we're back to HBO Max starting in the summer, which is great. I love it.
Well, first of all,
I love it.
I never understood why they went away from HBO. Right. HBO had a brand.
Yes.
HBO is known for great content. Why would you go to Skinamax?
Right. Right. Why would you want to confuse yourself with that?
When that decision came out, I mean, of course, it was highly criticized for the reason you just said. We all grew up with HBO. It's got a brand. It's got a there's an A-list quality to it.
Yeah.
And even when it's been Max for a while now, when people ask me about my shows and my shows are on Max, I always said HBO Max.
Well, you know what's funny? I almost felt like the content has dwindled. The level of quality of shows has dwindled some. Now, I think it might be psychosomatic because of the name change, but I think it got overtaken by Netflix. I got overtaken by the Hulu, Paramount Plus. I don't know. I mean,
Peacock.
Yeah, I mean, what's the Peacock? What's the last great HBO Max series?
Well, listen, let's be fair. They do White Lotus.
All right. Right.
They do the Pit. They do the Pit. They have some big series, and in the doc space, my series.
Well,
that's
spectacular.
I feel like I feel like they do some good content, but I think this from a branding standpoint.
You mentioned the scripted. So White Lotus, monster. What was the other one? The Pit.
Yeah.
Which one's that?
Massive show. It's a massive show. It's a hospital setting ER kind of series.
Oh. I'm out. I hate hospital shows. I don't know why they're so popular. First of all, who wants to be in a hospital? Hospital shows are so bad. Like, I don't want to go near
me anxiety.
I don't want to go see that. What's the last place you want to go to is a hospital? So, and why would you want to spend your, I want to take me away to a different world? And that world's been done 100 million times.
Listen, I agree with you. It's not my kind of show, but you can't. This is such a big show. It's such a big show. They did 16 episodes in the first season, and they picked up season 2 right away. But also, let's not forget. Okay, this is what we're thinking when we think Max and HBO. They have The Last of Us right now, massive hit. They have Hacks, massive hit. So
Gemstones.
They are doing it.
Yeah.
Gemstones, one of the best comedies of all time. But branding, I love that they're going back to HBO.
Yeah.
Just love it.
Yeah. No, I hear you. All right. Man, what else you got?
The other series that launches today is a Apple series called Murderbot. And it is it's one of these series where there's like an AI robot. It's like a rogue security robot played by
it's already
Alexander.
happening. I gotta watch. I gotta see it. I got no interest in Murderbot.
Well, this guy, it's an AI.
Give me a real assassin, like a real life assassin. Robots aren't interesting. Everywhere I look, every show's got a robot. Robots aren't interesting. Robots take over the world. I get it. They are. It's going to happen. I get it. Right.
A rogue security robot.
There's nothing interesting about a robot.
Secretly
people are interesting.
The rogue security robot secretly gains free will.
I heard that story. Get the hell out of here with Murderbot.
Well, listen. First of all, the Alexander Skarsgård stars in that. It could be interesting. I'm gonna check it out. But let me disagree on one point. Sometimes they do it really well. I talked about this last week, and I'm going to say it again. The movie Companion on Max, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Oh yeah, but that was a different twist on it, right?
It's an AI companion robot that becomes somewhat self-aware.
I'm out. Yeah, I'm out. I won't say it.
It's Black Mirror. It's Black Mirror-like.
Right, you said that. Right.
Here's the tagline. A weekend getaway at a remote cabin turns into chaos when it's revealed that one of the guests, a subservient android built for human companionship, has gone haywire.
Yeah, I'm out. It
is twisty and turny and one of the most fun movies.
And turny. You're really selling it to him, Todd.
I'm out. If it's not about people, I'm out. I need people.
K-Red's like, cuz is not a botsman.
I'm not a botsman.
No.
Takes art away. There's no art in bots. You know what I think of bots? I think of freaking Daryl Morey.
Yes.
But he's a bad bot. He's not even a good bot.
Who's the other bot?
Hugs, did you watch The Brutalist yet? It's now streaming.
No, I will.
I don't have 7 hours. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. If you can watch Love Island for 13 hours, you can watch The Brutalist.
Yes, thank you, Todd. He's right.
They're chunks. You got to watch The Brutalist in one sitting. Who's got a half a day?
Yeah,
VG and I
play about time. You're at the friggin' bar every day for hours and
yeah.
hours.
With companions, community, talking, living, chugging it up. Hey.
well, listen, VG.
I don't even
VG
like the
and I had
architecture. I hate the architecture to start with. They're ugly buildings. I don't want to watch a movie about
That's
it.
true. The architecture is ugly.
Hideous.
I agree with that.
VG and I both saw a 2-hour and 18-minute movie the other day, and VG liked it.
19 minutes too long, but it was all right. It was good. Yeah.
What was it?
Sinners.
Oh, yeah. I heard it was good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Slow to get going. They could have cut it out. Cut it down.
Stop.
They could have. They could have.
Oh, my God.
Todd knows. It felt like forever to get going.
God Spears, at some point, I will create, something's going to make it to the screen. You're not allowed to watch it. Because he'll tell me, oh, you got to cut that down. You got to cut that. I can't stand it.
It's Sinners is great, by the way.
Yeah,
I
recommend
We
it.
were going to go see it. Tam and I were trying to get time for ourselves, which is impossible right now. Because we were going to go Mother's Day night to see Sinners. And then, whatever, something happened. We had a tournament that lasted all day. So,
the two best movies in the theaters right now, hands down, in my opinion, Sinners, because it's still playing. It's been like 3 or 4 weeks. It's still doing great. And Friendship. I got to tell you,
I want to see that.
I talked about it last week. It was darker and creepier than I even expected.
Wow.
If you are a Tim Robinson fan, you're going to think it's the greatest movie ever made.
Really?
If you just like dark A24 creepy like original movies, this is your film. I could not stop laughing.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I
Great.
like it.
I'm in on Clown in the Cornfield too.
Dude, Clown in the Cornfield is lasting in the theaters longer than some films I thought would kill it.
Yeah, I'm in on it. Creepy clown in some small town harassing people in cornfields. I'm in.
Really?
Yeah.
You in on that, Jules? No? By the way, my man Nick from Collegeville, Nicky says, I hate hospital shows too, but The Pit is the best thing I've watched in a year.
Whoa.
I can't see that. I trust Nicky's got good sensibilities too, but I can't watch it.
Todd, what happened to this?
It is real.
What happened to The Surfer? Like, I thought it came out and it's in one theater. In the Chamonix, I got to go to if I want to see it.
Yeah, well, you know what, VG, I thought it was at one of the Ritz theaters. Did it leave today?
It must have. It was there. I saw it there earlier this week and it's gone.
You missed your boat?
It lasted 1 week out where I live, and I was really disappointed in that. But I don't know. We'll have to. I guess we'll check that one out on streaming.
Yeah. That's a disrespect to Nick Cage.
Well, it's interesting.
Dude, next week can we do the Madden movie?
Yeah, let's get into that next week.
I want to dive deep into that. All right.
Let's do it.
I don't want to
do it, and then let's.
It looks. Christian Bale is Al Davis. What?
Well, let's if we're gonna do it, let's talk next week about that film. But let's also talk about Nicolas Cage and Christian Bale as actors.
I would love to. I love Christian Bale. Christian Bale's.
Let's get into that.
Let's do it. I love it. All right, that's a tease for next week. All right, my boy. Are you around later? Are you in meetings?
I am. Give me a shout.
All right.
Give me a shout.
All right, buddy. There he is. TV Todd. Todd.
You know, Julia's a fan of Stott. You guys talked about Stott with Jimmy, and she types in Stotty Hottie.
Oh, yeah,
that's his nickname. That's our nickname, Addie and I. Yeah, Stotty Hottie. Stotty Hottie.
Yeah, Lestat. She loves Lestat.
Yeah.
Not as much as Real Muto, but I do like the Stotty Hottie.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see you. I know you were all Stotty Hottie.
Fit That CEO says if you and
He's back.
If you and I watch The Pit and don't like it, he'll owe us whatever wager we make.
All right.
He's got to
get. But we got to talk about where's Fit. Where's he been?
What was he against us on?
He was against us on the schedule or something to do with the Eagles.
Yeah, I forget.
It was an Eagles thing.
Yeah,
and we were asking him for 3 days.
Yeah. I forget.
I even said I would be in one of his videos.
Yes, I remember. I forget what it was.
All right.
All right.
Back in the day?
Sure. We got one.
All right.
Buccos are in town.
All right.
We'll go back to
Oh, you got the hats? The Bucco hats?
No. We're gonna go back to 2023. Not that far ago. Let's get us in the mood.
Okay.
Johan Rojas with a walk-off to put the Phillies back in the playoffs after a drought.
All right. I like it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It's not a lot of Buccos Phillies back in the day, man.
Scrap iron.
Yeah.
Before he got traded to Houston.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. I can't believe it's 10 to 12.
I know.
So that'll do it for us. If Jules is like, are you done yet or what?
I think there's a show
Jules,
in here.
thank you,
9
Jules.
minutes.
Because Brenna started. We've been going so long that Brenna started.
It's a tandem.
And Jules is the closer. She's Alvarado. So, everybody, thanks for hanging. All right. We love you. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
We all silly like the mayor.